FM and and your chess and your books, whatever.
Okay.
I'll say about me, and then we'll just get rolling. I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Radio. Yeah. Have you done this before? Oh, you did last year, didn't you? You said.
I did half an hour, but
Okay.
Natasha was doing all the technical stuff. So yeah,
Right.
we'll see.
We'll be okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're live, are we?
Are we? No, not yet. Are we?
You are live. You are live.
Ah, righty-ho. Okay.
I'm going away again.
I can't see the board. James, can you see the board? There we are.
Yes,
okay,
there we are.
guys. Hello. Thank you to Gorm, Daniel Gormali for. I was just on there with him. Thank you to El Grausanor. Simon Bibby here. James Vigus. Quick introductions, and then we'll just go to the chess. James, quickly introduce.
Hi. Yeah. Welcome everyone. I'm FIDE Master James Vigus. I haven't been active on the British chess scene for a while, but I've written a few chess books on the Perk and the Slav, and here I am in Germany right now. Simon.
Thank you, James. Yeah, same in some ways to James. Inactive for a number of years in England because I'm in Japan. I've been here for 22 years. FM. Like James, I was an England junior representative. In Japan, I was Japan champion 20 years ago. I hope to get back in the Japan team for the coming Olympiad. Anyway, that's us. Thank you.
Okay.
What's happening on the chess? Right, let's have a
look. And please donate generously to your regular reminder to the Ukraine, and maybe Simon can even post a link in the chat while I find a game to look at.
Yes.
So we'll here are the standings. No surprises. Keith Arkle still leading by a long way. And shall we look at the first game that comes up here, which I think is Sunny Baker is Chris Baker, isn't it?
Right. Okay.
And how are we doing here?
So white 6 pawns. Count the pawns first. Black 4 pawns and 2 pieces. So white's pushing. Who is white? Who is black? Chris Baker is white. Is that right?
Chris Baker is black. So
dearie me.
This looks like a bit of an upset on the cards because there goes another pawn.
And black. So Chris Baker's black. Who is white? Sorry, you can see clearly.
He's called Blunder a Bit, and clicking on that does not reveal a real name. So white is anonymous.
So Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. Blunder a Bit seems to be knocking over Chris Baker. I am Chris Baker.
His only issue is going to be time, isn't it? Because he's only got 30 seconds left, and
right.
That's not trivial.
Is he bringing the king up? Is he losing? Right, what's happening here? So pushing the pawns.
Shove the pawns up the board, I should think.
Yeah. Does he need the king at all?
Does he even need the king? Knight d5 or something?
Yeah. Might be sensible just king f2.
There's no rush, is there? I mean, he's only got 10 seconds left, so actually he's not going to do this, is he?
Not at this rate, and not pondering as he is, it seems.
No.
Time is oh dearie me. Dearie me.
Well, that's a shame.
That's a little bit of a pity for Mr. Blunder a bit to drop some time.
Shall we have a look at Keith then? Or he's playing someone rated 1265, so maybe we can find something else. Let's have a look at who's this? Thomas Rendell. This looks very high rated.
Right, and one of the other commentators, I think, from this.
Yeah, well, since we're fairly early on in this game, let's take a look at it from the beginning. And you probably know this opening, Simon, don't you?
Right, so French defense, knight c3, winner were played. Looks like a main line coming. Bishop a5 is the Armenian variation, I think, which was almost busted, but not quite. Maybe I've seen Tom Rendell write about this, and I think he's played it a number of times. It's one of these kind of openings that's always been kind of on the edge of playable or not playable, as far as I'm aware. The old Armenian players like Vaganyan and such like, I think, played this back in the day.
So I assume this is standard stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, perhaps. What's happening here now? So black exchanged back to a5 and exchange on c3. So what the arguments are, white in the winner, white argues for the 2 bishops. Black argues for the white pawn structure. Okay, So what's happening? Queen a5
Yeah.
attacking the c pawns. White has the tripled c pawns, but he's arguing that bishop d3 coming, knight f3 to g5, queen h5 attacking on the king side. Such are the arguments.
Yeah, and that dark squared bishop might become quite strong later, I guess. But
Yeah.
so White's just lining up against the king, isn't he? And
That's right.
knight g6.
So
Okay.
here, White can play queen h5, h4, knight g5. The queen can come back, and then the pawn goes to h5. This is all kind of very standard stuff for this kind of. I mean, is this theory? It could possibly be.
As you say, h4 and knight g5. Okay.
Yes, it's all very typical. Could be theory, but also certainly all very thematic. Liam Cleary in the notes says hi all. Hi, Liam Cleary Chess. Hello. Hello to people watching online. Hello to people in the notes. Please come along with your comments. Chip in. We very much appreciate that. Okay, so White's going back knight f3.
I assume the fact that GM Norfolk has just retreated is not a good sign, is it?
No, GM. Do we know GM Norfolk who this might be?
Let's take a look. Ooh, Andrew Brett.
Name rings a bell. Yes,
name rings a bell to me as well. Yeah,
from years, some years ago for both of us. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
20 odd years ago or such. Righty ho. So Black's pushing. He's aiming at the d3 pawn. White's not quite crashing through, is he? Or ideas of bishop takes h6 and queen takes h6 and knight g5.
That looks
is any
pretty
of that
much
working or not?
If that's not working, then he's got big problems, isn't he?
Perhaps.
So okay, bishop takes, queen takes. Doesn't look very likely, does it? Oh, right. This looks quite slow.
So presumably Black's just taking on d3, and
well, he can do. And White wants to play h5, doesn't he? Push the knight out of the way and play bishop takes h6. But if he's worried about that, he can just play king h8, I imagine. But no, okay, just take. Right.
Threatening e2. That's threatening
nice,
a checkmate on e2 here. So how does White defend this? Move the knight out of the way to defend back with the queen, g4 to e2. But then perhaps Black can exchange on e4. But the knight on g6.
So
White knight d4.
Yeah, and then we've got knight takes e5. And White's not really going anywhere, as he's lost his center. Nice play from Thomas Rendell.
Did he have to retreat the knight back to f3? I wonder.
No, I'm not sure.
Perhaps he could have kept it there.
Should we go back and have a look?
Yeah. Okay.
So this is where it.
You feel that if the knight's going back, then.
Does White have anything else
can
here?
Can he do anything else? Knight takes f7, just king takes f7. Rook h3.
But rook h, even rook h3 is not really threatening anything, is it? This is just.
No, I'm thinking knight takes f7 here, and then king takes f7, defending the knight.
Yeah.
And then rook h3 there.
Yeah.
Whether that would have been anything, but with such a short time limit, it's difficult to. Okay. But anyway, there might have been something there. So what's happening in the game? So let's go back.
Okay, let's go back to the current position. White's just castled. Okay. King looks really drafty. It'll be interesting to see how this gets finished off.
Yes.
Bishop.
So checking b1.
Lovely bishop d3 coming. I suppose.
Bishop d3. Then rook takes queen takes. I just mop up pawns for
a few more checks, mop up the pawn, and knight f5 is going to stop the mate.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to do it with checks.
So rook takes, queen takes, king to a1 or a2, and then just knight f5.
I think so. That king is completely naked.
Yeah, the fat lady's singing, I think. This is looking grim. So knight f5, the bishop's got to go back somewhere, and White's not really ever threatening h6 after that because the pawn can just go to g6, I think. Okay, bishop. Yeah, so knight f5.
Bishop all the way back to c1. Okay, well, I mean, well, black's also a lot of material up, so
so does white have any threats if black passes for 5 moves? h6.
Well,
black falls off. So
he's going to try and get the
obviously
queen to f6, I suppose. Even then, I'm not sure that's actually a threat.
Yeah, even then. So is white actually threatening anything here? No, perhaps not. So king.
No. So the rook.
So rook c4
can come in. Okay.
Rook c6. Same.
Very
Game
efficient.
over. Checkmate is coming along the a file. So rook a6 is coming, and white calls it a day. Okay.
Okay.
Well, another point for Mr. Rendell there. Okie dokie. The French, the Armenian works. Okay, so let's have a look at another game, shall we, James? Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we have a look at? We'll have a look at Keith Arkle now.
Yeah, I saw the point briefly with Danny Gormani just before. It seems Keith is somewhat out front. Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Do you have a points table?
Yeah, we do. Okay, let's just go to the standings quick. So Keith has got 649 points, almost double Chris Baker's 346.
Right.
That's incredible stamina, isn't it?
That's.
But this, he's gonna be hard put to win this one. I mean, this is the.
Yeah, there's not much happening here at all. There's even with Keith's notable rook and bishop endgame skills.
Let's see who his opponent is. Dashman 93. This is no, anonymous. But well,
okay, right, yeah. Is there anything possible? He's only 649. Says upstanding hooligan. 649 is the rating of this, or a comment in the. Upstanding hooligan suggests only 649.
Only 649 points for Keith in the tournament.
Oh, only 6. Okay.
Presumably he's going to rack up a few more by PM
by the end of this, yeah.
And he's got a 10 seconds.
Has Keith slept? Has he eaten? Has he been to the bathroom at all? These are questions we want to know the answers to. So what's happening in the game? So what's 2 pawns, bishop, rook, the king, very drawish. The opposite color bishops. Opposite color bishops in the endgame lend to being much more drawish. If Keith can't trying to push the h, but there's nothing really happening, is there?
No.
Keith. Alex Holochap, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, pops up. He's aiming to beat 655, which he scored last year.
Oh.
So. Right. He's well on his way, perhaps. Right. Thank you, Alex, for popping up there. Thank you.
Well, he seems to be. He seems to be likely to lose this one because he's playing so slowly now. He must be really tired, I guess.
Yeah.
I think White must be playing for a win. Playing for a win by now.
Yeah. So 36 seconds White has left, and Black has 16. So Black's just going to do a kind of a sustained shuffle.
Well, if I were Keith, I'd just take on f2, get everything off. Oh no, that doesn't give you a draw, though, does it? Because even a bishop against a pawn is still a win if the
absurdity of such rules. Yes.
I've lost in that way before.
Yeah. So what James was just suggesting there for people watching is rook takes f2, rook takes, bishop takes, and then h5 to just liquidate, to get rid of the pawns. But the weird thing about the rules is that even with a pawn and bishop, you can't really mate, but the rules are, in theory, there's some bizarre position which can occur. And what happened in the final?
Draw by repetition. So yeah, White was a good sport there. Didn't try and
Credit to White there for being honourable there. Thank you to White for not pushing the clock there.
Exactly.
Okay. So Keith doesn't win a rook and bishop ending. So he'll be.
No, an all-titled player clash here. Maybe we can have a look at that. I am Omisok
Right.
against Mark Hebden. So who is this? This is I am Jeff Lawton. Oh, for those with long memories.
Yes. I'm sure these gentlemen have played each other hundreds and hundreds of times in these multiple Midlands congresses. I remember back in the day seeing these guys. It's kind of the Midlands chess playing gods, along with Keith Arkle. That's
I remember being ground down in a British Championship by Jeff Lawton in a horrible. I played an English opening a bit too passively, and I just suffered for hours on end, and still remember that very vividly.
Yeah. I mean,
so we have. Well, this is a bit tricky to count up, isn't it? We've got
so what? Oh my!
Rook, knight, and 2 pawns for a queen. So
and these pawns look quite large.
There goes another pawn. So I think black is winning, right? Oh no, maybe not then.
Well, can the queen cause any damage? The 2 rooks seem to be holding everything. The queen can't really cause trouble, can it?
Oh gosh, yes. He's threatening mate in 1, and if rook f7,
queen f8 is something to look out for.
Well, rook f7, but then queen e5 check picks up the knight, doesn't it? So maybe black grabbed 1 pawn too many there.
Yeah.
However, look at the time. Lawton has got 15 seconds left. Oh, h6. Wow. Oh dear. Whoops.
Oh dear me. A blunder there. So wasn't queen f8 mate?
No, because he'd made room for the king on h7. So that
I
suppose White had pre-moved queen e5, having expected rook f7.
Having expected rook f7. Oh right.
The pre-moves are always a hazard, but you sort of have to do that if you're that short of time. Yeah. Okay, well done, Mark Hebden.
So quickly explaining pre-moves for anybody who doesn't play so much Blitz online. Pre-move that you have the line, you have the move waiting. It's already basically kind of logged in, and no matter what the opponent plays, it just appears. So black expecting the obvious rook f7, queen e5 is coming, but h6 and the queen drops off. Okay, so what's this game now, James?
Well, I'm afraid I've gone back to Keith Arkle, but this is because he's got an opponent with a monster rating, FM Jonah Willow, rated 28.85.
Goodness gracious me, that's quite bad. Oh my. This is a very Keith position, isn't it? It looks like this is a Carlsbad type position, which I'm sure he's played several thousand times. Carlsbad position, typically from the Queen's Gambit, also from Caro-Kann, exchange variation. I think Keith puts bread on the table with such positions. So what's happening here? White's pressuring the queenside pawns. The knight's ideally placed in such a position on d3. Okay, so White's offering this.
So Keith would like to swap his A pawn for black's B pawn, wouldn't he? That's part of his idea.
That's right.
So that he would then play against black's weak C pawn. But this has suddenly gone a bit wrong, hasn't it? He's
dropped the pawn for nothing
without getting the B pawn. Yeah. So
yeah.
So he's now just a pawn down.
Ouch.
Oh, and here comes the pawn. This is
not quite what he was hoping for. Yeah, I think in the longer game with a little bit more sleep, he would have been bit more effective with this.
So I'm just going to go back, Simon. I'm just going to go back a few moves because this was the moment, wasn't it? A6 was was where it went wrong, and I think White needed to just be patient here and sort of push the kingside pawns a bit, and there isn't too much happening, but it's a normal game. So here we are. Black's just going to slowly move in on the queen side.
And White just has to wait for death.
While he waits for death, tell us about chess in Japan a bit, Simon. What's happening at the moment? How are things developing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here 22 years now. So when I first arrived, there was a few players, some quite strong players, but not so many. The volume of players, and there was a few at the top, but not all that many, over 2,200. The organisation was a little bit suspect. Which probably best not to go too much into that. But now there's a new organisation. Was Japan Chess Association, now National Chess Society of Japan. It's much better organised now. There's so many more players. There's many more tournaments. More strong players coming through. It's really developed over the last 2 decades. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 international masters we have here, Shinya Kojima and Yosuke Nanjo.
Right.
Two guys in their early 30s, very strong players. Yeah, I mean it's interesting to be kind of part of something that's growing. Yeah, it's my federation, I changed it many years ago from England to Japan, and I led the team at the 2004 Olympiad in Calvia in Spain, but they didn't play again, and I stopped playing chess for a few years. I hope to get back in the team for Chennai, India this year. We'll see. We'll see in May. But
that sounds like an interesting challenge. Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing am I remembering this right from the mists of time? There was a puzzle from one of your games from that 2004 Olympiad in a quality chess puzzle book or something like that.
That's right. Yeah. I played one very bonkers game against Cyprus.
Right.
Where I just kind of threw lots of pieces, and it was all kind of working remarkably. Yeah. So my preparation for that game was quite extensive. D4, I saw my opponent played London system, Bishop F4. I didn't really want a part of that, so I saw that he against C5, he took it. So okay, that's good. So I went to see a castle in the morning with a friend who was visiting, and then just rocked up just before the game, and hey presto. Yeah, all turned out very well, really. I had no chess books at the time. I came to Japan with no chess. I wasn't playing chess at all, and just took it up again. Yeah, my preparation's slightly better now, I hope.
Well, you've had some interesting opposition in the last few years with Wang Yu.
Yeah, played Wang Yui in China. He was I think was he world number 3 or 4 at some point?
I think something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a international kind of universities championship in Tianjin in China, and I was leading the Japan combined universities team as a faculty member. Everyone else was students, and there's also the guy who's in the candidates. What's his guy? Grigory Oparin was also there.
Oh yes, okay.
So I got absolutely murdered by him. But my game against Wang Yui was quite complex. He was kind of scratching his head and panicking, and it's nice to see him kind of bricking it, as they say. But he did beat me, of course. Yeah,
sure.
But that was my wake up call to try and study properly.
Yeah, that's nice.
Improving since then. But enough about me. It's me waffling on about things. What's happening in the game? Let's have a
well, I've just
look.
picked another game. This is Black is he's called Navigator. Candidate Master David Okiki. Is that? I think that's how you pronounce it, isn't it? That's another blast from the past. I think I remember this. I remember him in the late 90s, maybe.
From London tournaments, perhaps.
From London tournaments, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sort of George Goodwin rapid plays in London, that kind of thing.
That's right. That's right. So North London. That's right. Yeah.
And it seems to be mopping up. And white is Alex. How do you pronounce that? Holochek.
Yes, Alex. Yeah. Hey,
well known.
I've emailed lots with Alex about various admin things, but Alex, do tell us how to pronounce your name. So apologies if we're getting it wrong. But the guy does lots and lots for British chess, for international chess. I remember a club mate of mine, BH Wood, who's quite famous. We used to give him lifts to tournaments. Alex, the British Universities event fell away, and Alex kind of brought this back. So he does lots and lots of work. So well done, Alex, for your work with university stuff, British chess, and lots of FIDE stuff. Respect. Yeah. Okay, what's happening in the game? Pawns are just rolling. And
pawns are just rolling. Let's find another game, shall we? This one's over. Yeah. Bonkers. Let's have a look at BH Wood. Wow, yeah, I wrote him a letter, I think, when I was about 7 years old. Gosh, this is these memories coming back.
Yeah, we used to give BH a lift to tournaments because I lived in Sutton Coldfield in Birmingham, and my father was the first team captain for a couple of years, and we gave BH a lift to matches. Lovely fellow. My father got a little bit upset that BH sometimes would give directions but to the wrong place. My father, after a long day at work, was remarkably patient considering. But
the BH being a non-driver, typically for chess players.
So BH, Sutton Coldfield Chess Supplies, and BH Wood kind of publishing.
That's right.
was it the first chess magazine in the UK? I'm not sure, but he was working on this for a long time, and a big name in British chess.
I suspect British Chess Magazine is older, but B.H. Wood was editor of chess for over 50 years, I think, and
that's
what I sort of grew up with to begin with.
It's quite a character. Yeah.
So
who's
Chris Baker here?
This is a Sicilian, a Routzer, presumably.
Let's have a quick run through from the beginning. Chris Baker is white, and black is somebody called Queens and Pawns, Jude Shearsby. And let's take a look from the beginning because we're still quite early on in the game here. So we've got an open Sicilian, I think. Yeah. Oh, taking on d4 is a bit premature, isn't it? Because it just gives white unchallenged queen. White's playing quite aggressively now, but yes.
E5, my mind.
E5 is quite. Was that necessary? Giving the d5 square looks like White's got a much better position than he should have. F5 looks nice, yes, indeed. Well, this is looking lovely for White suddenly, isn't it? Bishop c6. Oh, nice GT square. Thank you very much. White is outrated, but must be quite happy so far. And that h6 pawn looks like a goner, doesn't it? So
this looks like a very bad. There's a variation called it's called the Kotzel suicide variation of the classical Sicilian, and this just seems like a very bad version of this for black. That's in the open Sicilian with knight c6, knight f6, and black allows the double pawns, but he gets much more dynamism than here. Here it just seems very grim.
It is just grim, isn't it?
Yeah. The ideal version is where perhaps the black pawn goes to h5, the bishop goes to h6 and takes the dark squares there. The rook would stay on h8, and the king would go to e7. This is just an unhappy version of that. So bishop e6 is coming. Oh, it could. Oh, sorry. Bishop takes and then
bishop takes e6, and then bishop e6 and
is it mate coming?
I suspect so, isn't it? Yeah.
So pawn takes c3, bishop e6, king c6, trying to escape round the queen side.
King come backwards. That can't be good.
Ouch.
So rook h8. Oh, okay. Well, that's sensible, isn't it? Just take back on c3 first.
Okay. And, avoid c2 check coming in, which could have been.
That's not one check. That's it, isn't it? And then
king a1, and okay, does black? Okay, white's threatening rook h8. Bishop f8, queen h6 coming. So maybe what black should. Okay, so then he's
Well, just queen h6 here would do the job, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Then rook h8, bishop f8, and then take on f8. So queen h6 still covering c1, of course. So black can't go rook c1 and get the queen because the queen's still on this diagonal. So queen h6 is there anything? There's not even a check, is there? So queen h6 is threatening just rook h8, bishop f8, and taking. Can black do anything? Doesn't look like it, does it?
That's it, isn't it? Yeah. That really is a bad bishop on e6. This is.
So I'll have a look at the comments here. I apologies to people in the comments for having neglected you. Poor souls. So comments here. Let's have a look. It's a comment that Keith's playing worse now. Someone managed to get a draw against him. Someone's talking about Tokyo bilingual chess. That's not from me, actually. No, I'm based in Kobe, which is in Western Japan. There's Kobe, Osaka, and Kyoto next to each other, three big cities. Tokyo bilingual chess is fantastic. Lots of stuff happening there for children. Recommended for people who are in Tokyo with their children. Lost Cooper saying this commentary team is a blast from the past. Indeed, from some years ago. I stayed with Lawrence Cooper here, and we had a escapades in the Cannes tournament where ended up looking after a big bunch of kids. There was no adult sense. I was 17 looking after a number of 11 to 15-year-olds, as I remember.
That doesn't bear thinking about, Simon.
No, I had my hat of responsibility on for the first and perhaps last time for that. Yeah, some quite eminent names from that. I remember Ruth Sheldon was there, and
Right.
Andrew Greet and such like, and Thomas Hinks Edwards. All these became very strong players.
Mm.
Me became less strong. Right. So what's happening here then? So let's have any more comments.
Well, Thomas Rendell is white against who's that? That's I've forgotten who that is already. That's David Okiki, isn't it? Shall we run through from the beginning again?
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah.
This is another opening. Sicilian defense
against knight
B3.
C6. Yeah, B3 is often played against E6, and it is absolutely fine. It's just another variation. Again, knight C6, less common. So knight F6 here. Okay, E5, knight D5 or knight G4.
I imagine knight D4 might be critical, but knight D5
knight
can't
D5
be bad.
Here.
Oh, has Magnus Carlsen played this sometimes with white?
That's with. He was the black side of it with 2 B3, right. And then he replied with G6.
There was some game with E6, and then black played F6.
That's right. Yeah,
kind of just okay for black.
Yeah, I think 2 G6 against 2 B3 basically almost kind of puts it out of business. I think there's almost nothing there. I've had that myself as black a couple of times. Saw something here. Okay, it's kind of transposed into the 2 B3 stuff. So white punting on the king side. White's got a little bit more space. Black's trying to hold things. Can white challenge with H5?
I wonder about knight E6. I'd be tempted to try something like B5 here, but maybe it just loses a pawn. So queen E4, but queen C7, H5. No idea what's going on here. H6. Wow, I'll just keep going. But I guess black's quite solid.
So, can he get his pieces out at all? Knight's coming into B5.
Knight D5 looks quite nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So how does white crash through?
H3. What's that about? Stopping knight B4. Okay.
So white's going to just castle.
Knight C7. That looks awful, doesn't it? E6. Ouch. Well, I don't know how he would have crashed through without that, but this must be good for white now, I guess. Knight takes D5, takes. Yeah. And there goes a rook.
Yes.
G7. That's quite.
So he's running for the hills. Also, rook C8, king B8, and kind of some curious type of castling.
King B6.
King B6, an aggressive king, right?
Why not?
Right.
Nothing to lose.
Holds the C5 pawn. Why not? Ready for the ending. So knight E6 takes.
Knight takes H7.
So the H pawn might race through. This is quite a wild game. Goodness gracious me.
Okay, well, anyway, that white obviously won that. I mean, winning a one position in these blitz games is not, or at least I find it extremely difficult. But Tom Rendell, I guess, doesn't find it so difficult.
What's the time limit, by the way? So,
it's just 5 minutes.
Just 5-0. No addition. No
like in the old days. Yeah.
The halcyon days. Yes, back in time. Right. Okay. Because when I play online, I don't know about yourself, James. I normally play 3 minutes plus 2 seconds, or 2 minutes.
That's what I do too. Yes. I suddenly realised that for somebody as slow as me, having those 2 seconds is quite usple. Otherwise, I just lose on time, 3 queens up or whatever, and it gets quite annoying.
Yeah, it can get quite infuriating to 5-0, can't it? So yeah. Okay, so what's this game here? Who's
right? Black is an interesting player, Mikhail Golubev, who is Ukrainian, I believe, isn't he? From Odessa's 20th century grandmaster.
Is this the real person, or is this someone lurking in with an assumed name? Is this the real?
Well, he's got a GM title and he's rated 24, 23, so I assume he's
quite
really
possibly. Okay, yeah, he's quite an esteemed guy. He wrote books on the Sozin variation of the Sicilian. He wrote a book on the King's Indy defense. Right. Okay.
And he's polishing off somebody called Flying Chess Kestrel who is
It's a glorious name.
Who is anonymous, yeah. But I assume Black's just winning material here, isn't he?
Yeah.
An exchange for starters.
I'll just post again the raising money link, shall I, by the way, in the comments.
Brilliant, yes.
That'll be helpful for people, I think. Okie dokie. How do I post? That's quite a question. Perhaps Natasha can post it for us. I can read the comments. So this is my first time to be on Twitch, by the way. I just signed up earlier on to watch Danny Gormley. Been a bit of a novice here, so excuse me, people. Perhaps Natasha can post the link. Okay.
Maybe I can do it, but I'm sort of terrified of navigating out of here and never coming back again. So because it's almost my first time as well. Okay, well,
sorry, people, for being Luddites here. From our respective homes in Germany and Japan. Right, so what's happening here? So the F6 pinning the knight, and so this is Mr. Golubev. Okay, and he chalks this up.
Resigned.
Okay.
Should we have a look at the standings and see how many points Keith has racked up now?
Yeah.
So he's got 655. So he's slowed down a bit, hasn't he?
Right.
And
655 was his target from last year.
Oh, okay. Right.
So he needs one more for.
As long as he can win one more game in the next, is it 3 hours?
Okay. Quite possible, unless he just dozes off. Has he been active the whole time? Do you know?
I don't know.
Which would be somewhat insane if he has been. In a lovely way.
It would.
Yeah. So what about the silver and bronze medal positions? Who's?
Well, Chris Baker is still in second place with 358, but closely followed by somebody called Chess Fiction, and then at some distance from Mark Hebden, who's got 302 points, and nobody else is anywhere near. So yes, I get Chris Baker, Chess Fiction, and Mark Hebden are fighting it out for.
Do we know Chess Fiction who this might be?
Who is this? Let me see. No name given.
Right. Okay.
Let's see who's playing now. Let's see if we can find somebody we haven't seen before.
So Chris Baker also kind of on the old school. He's won many tournaments in the Midlands. I remember him coaching me as a junior. He coached the Warwickshire Juniors back in the day. So a lovely chap. He was very busy in the Midlands, I remember. And he was kind of one of these really strong players. Also, like I remember Vic Knox in the north of England. These guys are ridiculously strong, but were not IMs at the time. But Chris did get his M to IM title. These guys were just like the grades back then, BCF, ECF, now 220, 230 grades. Just outrageously strong players, but somehow not titled.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so who's in this one, James?
Right, Mark Hebden is white, and David Okiki is black.
Righty ho.
And I should count the bits. Black seems to have a lot of pawns.
So black 5 pawns, white 3 pawns. Yes, always the thing to do, isn't it? Count it. So white. So black's king is looking a wee bit open here. Queen G3 is coming, still keeping an eye on the rook on the E1. Queen G3 is met by Queen G5. The D pawn's big. That's a good idea. What's happening here? So can the D pawn just run on? Will it be stopped? Queen take D7 and rook E8. But then bishop F6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The bar has crept up in white's favour in the last few moves. I didn't quite see what had gone wrong there, but so
this looks a big ouch, says the bar on the left. So okay.
7 check. Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, what?
So there's nothing to stop rook E8, because if black had played rook D8, rook E8 would have been check, and
it comes with check and.
Okay, so trivial win now.
Queen B6. Oh well, yeah. Take that first. Whatever.
Nice turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What else have we got? Let's find. Here's somebody else with a high rating we haven't seen before. Somebody called Bazar Woksal playing black here. Who's this?
Bazar Woksal. Sounds like something from Star Wars Canteen.
His real name is I am Nikolai Vlasov.
Right. Okay.
and he is outrating his opponent. And well, he's always his whole rook up, so not much to see here.
No.
0-1.
Okay. What about Mark Hebden? Is he in action at the moment?
Let's see. No, Keith Arkle is. Oh yeah, Mark Hebden's in action.
Commenting in from ECF commentary that your garden is the place to learn all-night chess laws. Yeah, Lawrence Cooper. One of the main guys in British chess for many years. He would have his kind of annual garden chess parties where I think all British chess luminaries at some point played. Yeah, so that's.
I never played. Yeah, well, I'm not being a luminary.
Well, you were further down south. I think you can be forgiven for not.
Okay.
It was a Midlands thing, perhaps. Yeah, back in the day, Lawrence Cooper. I am Lawrence Cooper. I think he was women's coach and then Welsh women's coach. Is that right, Lawrence?
Right. Yeah.
Been very active over the years, I think. Yeah. Right. So what's that? This is kind of a normal position, right? Okay.
It's quite normal.
From what opening? From Rilo Pez.
It's a Rilo Pez, where White went knight c3 early on, and
the knight c3 a3 line. Okay. Right.
Mm.
Yeah. There's a Dingley Wren game against somebody a few years ago. Yeah, a couple of German guys did a chess base thing on this. Yeah. It's quite tricky for Black. Yeah, Black really has to kind of know what he's doing. Yeah. The idea of knight c3 and a3, just the bishop can slot back, so the jiggering with knight a5 is not such an issue. What's happening here?
I mean, White's gone h3 and g4, which is very ambitious, obviously, just to shut that bishop out completely. But he's got a big hole on f4, which is what Hebden is aiming for with this knight maneuver to e6, right. Isn't it? So
White's going bishop g3. Lawrence saying, he was at the 2016 Olympiad. Yeah. Okay. Right. Was that as Welsh women's captain, Lawrence? Carlsbad is in the Czech Republic, says Dandelion or Dandelion, maybe. Right. Pawn structures. What's happening here? The bishop on h7 is looking a wee bit unhappy.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some ridiculously famous game where the bishop got buried? Of some chess classic, I forget where.
Winter Capablanca, wasn't it? I think.
Respect. Man knows his history. Right. It's for people watching. James is a professor, by the way. Not chess history.
For the English, not chess, unfortunately.
So what's that? Oh, the bishops.
Oh dear! No.
The bishops suddenly become rather strong. So the bishop's aiming at c2. The bishop's quite wide awake now.
So this move, I mean, king h2 was a disaster, wasn't it? So it's better just to give that pawn up on h3. It doesn't matter about the pawn.
Yeah, so bishop back to a2.
You've got to keep Black's bishop locked in there. So I think so. Bishop a2 or something would be better. Just leave the pawn, and now Black's just doing very well, I would imagine.
Yeah, a5, b4's coming in.
It's too materialistic.
So Black's going to take the c file. The b4's coming next to open things up on the queen side. Does Black want to shuffle this king up as well, perhaps, and then play f5? Or what does White have plans here? What's White plans other than just surviving? So f4, I guess it's the only active move.
Makes sense, yeah. So White wants to play f5, doesn't he, and have another go at shutting that bishop out. So
Black presumably. Oh, really?
I thought he would play bishop e4, just to stop that from happening, and then. So why didn't
White play f5 with the idea of what? Rook e4, but why not f5?
Why not f5 now?
I'm really confused by this.
Yeah, me too.
I just think why f5 just cripples the bishop again. Yeah.
Now I just thought White's doing really well again now. That bishop's never coming out, is it?
No, it doesn't seem to be. Does Black have to give up? Even if he gives up material, then it's still buried on h7.
Yeah. This is getting interesting again then. Well,
so if you can recap, sorry, who are the players again? Sorry, here.
Black is Mark Hebden.
Black is Mark Hebden.
Surprising to see him let his bishop get buried like that. And White is somebody called Vincent's82, real name not given, but he's rated 1900, so he's doing really well here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Pawns and light squares. And that rook on e4, it's just looking a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah. So this bishop on h7 is just never getting out, it seems, because black can't move the f pawns. So it is simply buried. What happened there?
Well, he just gave up the exchange, but it's completely gone, isn't it? And then he's given, the bishop's still not coming out.
Checks. Well, you're just going to bring the rook up and then the other rook up. Yeah.
Yeah, just defend everything and come. Rook. We can go and fetch some pawns now. He's got to go to g7, and then the d6 pawn is impossible to defend. Nice play.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that he should just mop up the b3 pawn first, because that's black's only possible hope, isn't it? That the pawn somehow black claims the b2 pawn and pushes. So maybe white can just go rook c3 and then just take that pawn for safety, and then just home in on.
He's taken your advice. Double on the 7th.
Yeah.
And white's even up on time as well. And basically, more or less playing a pit. Oh, the bar suddenly shot down.
So these pawns are.
So white should have grabbed that d6 pawn when he had the chance, and then it was really over, I suppose. And now,
so suddenly black's. So maybe h3, g4, and f5 are dropping off, and suddenly black has a bishop again.
The bishop's coming out.
This is something of a tragedy, isn't it? Oh, dear me. It's a game of two halves, as they say.
Well, it's Blitz, isn't it? Yeah.
So can white try and just checkmate him? No, the bishop's just come back to h7 anytime, isn't it? There's no mate.
So, if he can try, I see that bishop g6 was a nice move, wasn't it? He's sheltering his king to avoid the white rook on b8 moving with check. So white's going to try and defend the b pawn from the side and then move his rook out of the way, but it's all too slow, isn't it?
That's a lot of pawns.
That's a lot of pawns. And
they're rolling.
h3. Well, anything.
That's far too many.
Oh,
poor white here. I think.
It's a shame, isn't it? Yeah. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing worse than a winning position. I find. As long as if you're slightly better, slightly worse, it's okay.
The bar is shooting.
The bar's swung again. Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
And again, okay, this is quite crazy. I'm not quite sure why, but maybe he pushed the wrong one at the wrong time. This is a very non-standard position, to be fair. This is two rooks versus a multitude of pawns. It's very non-standard.
I just reviewed a nice book by De La Villa on endgames. Some slightly non-theoretical endgames like sort of queen versus lots of pawns and things like that. And really, really good, clear stuff. And it made me want to study endgames again.
I mean, do you play at all? Do you play in Germany at all? Or are you
I think the last time I played was exactly 10 years ago when I was last in Germany. Now I play a bit of online Blitz, but that's it. But I stopped playing for a long time and then had a comeback when I moved to Germany. Well, I mean, this is going back 15 years now. And I played in the kind of third or fourth Bundesliga at that time with sometimes some very strong opposition. But essentially I played very little for 20 years now.
Oh my. Okay. Natasha's digging out these old guys like us to come along. Yeah. No, but this is what's happening here. So this is lots of material. There's no time issue. Oh, there is a time issue. Black.
There is a time. You've got 4 seconds left. Yeah.
Just bang, bang, bang. It's his insta move, isn't it? This is
even I could do that in 4 seconds, I think. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah.
Well, lucky perhaps, Mark Hebden. Let's check the standings again. Keith Arkle's up to 663. Wow, so he's easily beaten his record or goal or whatever it was.
I wonder how many times that Keith and Mark have played now, because I remember back in even like 20 or 30 years ago, it was in the hundreds, many hundreds. So
yeah,
are they up to 1,000 yet? Perhaps they might be in there.
Every time I saw them, Keith Arkle was always white, and it was always a fianchetto King's Indian with knight c6 and rook b8.
Yes.
Every single time.
yeah, I know exactly the positions you're talking about. I saw this any number of times. Yeah. Right, so let's find another game, shall we? I think we don't have too much time left, do we? My goodness me.
Oh, no,
who's up after us, by the way? Do we want to give a quick shout for who's up next after us?
Going to be ousted by somebody else. I'll tell you who it is. It's Tristan Cox. I don't think I know Tristan Cox.
No, perhaps. Well, we have been away for more than 2 decades, so it's perhaps not surprising. Some new folks have come through. Yeah. So hello, Tristan, and nice to meet you for the first time. We'll shake his hand. So what's happening here?
Okay, so this is Sackbutt against Gunslinger. Perhaps slightly unfortunate name under the circumstances. Sackbutt is Ewan Ward. That rings a bell.
That's with BUT, is it, rather than?
So what happened here? This was a very quick win. Oh, so this is the famous Stafford Gambit. So the Petrov. Instead of d6, you just give up the pawn, and this has become very. Oh dear! But I see Black just made a mouse slip. Yeah.
Yeah, mouse slip. That's right. Yeah.
So this has become famous thanks to IM Eric Rosen, who's pioneered this, and he played d takes c6 and bishop c5, and if White doesn't know what he's doing, it's quite nasty. But anyway, okay, that was over. That was over very quickly. We could maybe fit in one more game or two more games.
Yeah, let's have a quick look. Let's see.
Do we? Oh, I see. Amit Ghazi. That's an interesting player, isn't it? Who's black here with a monster rating of 2745, but struggling against Amenhotep 04, rated just 2040. Let's see who this is. Don't know, but anyway, yeah, the IM with black here is struggling, maybe losing.
So what should be the result? Can he hold? No, surely he can't hold this. It's just dropping, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
H6, and then the bishop.
Yeah, it's a straightforward win, isn't it?
Even just knight takes. Yeah. They could just take the f pawn.
So I assume Black should have left his king over on the h file at least and tried to, but the 2 pawns would have been too strong in the end.
Yeah, the bishop can't even get round, can it? Bishop c5 to d6. Bishop c5, h6, bishop. But and it's just the f pawn's dropping anyway. There's too much happening for White, isn't there? Yeah.
Major upset. Yeah, 700-point rating difference here. And White's got time. He's got over a minute to finish this off.
He's never even going to lose the pawn, is he?
No, that's right. He was aiming to play knight g7 there, wasn't he? And well, come on, time to resign and play another game. That's right. Well done, Amenhotep.
We'll squeeze in a couple more minutes, shall we, before we scarf on our different ways. What about Keith? Is Keith still awake?
Yeah, Keith's playing
the land of the living.
Somebody rated 1700, and looks like business as usual. Okay, another win for Keith.
My.
What else is going on? Who is Smooth Baron? I wonder. I wonder if this is Baron
as in infertile, or Baron as in like a lord and a baron.
As in like a lord. That couldn't be Simon Brown, could it? Assuming we're sticking with our oldies theme here.
Simon Brown from North Kent and kind of Bromley.
Yeah.
Something.
Could be.
Quite a strong player.
Anyway, he just won this one too. Anyone we haven't seen yet?
Let's see. Players and any strong players.
There's an IM here called British Isles. Very, very patriotic.
And do we know who's lurking behind the?
Let's see.
His moniker?
No, we don't. But it's a bona fide IM playing against somebody called Lance Master, and So, let's go from the beginning from this one, because this is our favourite opening of Trompowsky.
Oh, the Trump! It's glorious to see this.
I feel like I've gone back to my youth now.
Indeed. Right, we've both got some experience of this.
Bishop f5, which I remember always thinking that was not a very good move, but I never got any advantage against it anyway, because I think Black should hang on to his bishop pair and not really really invite the swap. Oh, okay, this is nice for White. So Black wants to be taking on c4 here rather than. Oh, okay. So this is where I thought White would take on d5.
Well, Black has some idea about bishop takes b1, queen takes, and then bishop b4 check there. And
can he do that in this position?
Yeah, I think that's kind of an argument of sorts.
Yes.
But then the king's happy enough, I guess, on king d1, I think, or something.
Right.
But I think if he's allowing knight c3, then it's White's just happy enough. I think the bishop really shouldn't be on f5 unless it's going to take on b1.
Yes.
Perhaps excuse me, should have gone bishop e6. I think bishop e6, bishop d6.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
This is just good for White, isn't it?
Natasha is with us.
Hello. Hi. I'm also going to let in. I'm going to let Amit in as well.
Right.
Here we go. There we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Not met before, so we'll do a shaking of hands. Hello. Hello.
We're all in different countries, because Amit, you're in Canada, I think, at the moment.
Canada, exactly. So where's everyone else?
I'm in England.
I'm in Japan.
And I'm in Germany.
Oh wow, that's really awesome.
So we're from across the world.
My goodness me. Right, so do we want to? We're handing over at an appropriate moment, quite apposite moment. So this is a Trompowsky, which James and I both
let's see the end of the Trompowsky and then do a handover. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Well, this is
so
beautiful
James, carry on.
Trompowsky. Yeah.
Yeah.
All going according to plan.
Right. So what's happening here? So yeah, Trompowsky d4 and bishop g5, and it's often quite difficult for Black to play these double pawn positions. He really has to kind of know what he's up to. White can often just kind of play on autopilot. Here, what's happening? So British Isles as White. Who might this be, I wonder, playing the Trump? There's not so many of us. Right. So the Trompowsky introduced by Julian Hodgson back in, when would this be? About 1990 or before that, James?
Yeah, I think about then. That's right. And Michael Adams was playing it at that time as well. And there was, everybody's writing books on it. There was a nice book by Peter Wells and Joe Gallagher as well. And I had a German one I was very proud of by a guy called Kyle Hack, which nobody else had. So I felt like I was armed with secret Trompowsky.
Oh, you had the advantage then.
Well, it didn't do me any good. I remember playing a game against Stuart Conquests. And I lost in about 15 moves, having thought that I'd surprised him with some Trompowsky theory, but it was just awful. And then I showed him this book, and he said, "No, don't study any theory. That's where you went wrong."
Oops.
Yeah. But anyway, this is a classic Trompowsky, isn't it? With
well, basically the bishops are not doing much, and White's happy enough with the e3 and d4 pawns, which is kind of just hold everything. Yeah. So is Black going to try and what can Black try here? Anything. I mean, maybe if you can pop up with you're probably a little bit stronger than us and probably a bit more active. So can you help us?
I think Black has to just wait for maybe White to. I don't know. If I was White, I'd maybe get a little bit impatient nowadays and try and do some exchange stack on c6 eventually, and then Black might have some chances after that, right? But I mean, I don't know. White's got literally everything he could ever want, I think, hasn't he?
Absolutely. And the f5 square and also takes.
I suppose that's good, yeah.
Oh, his rook takes c6 now. Any good? Well.
Yeah, I think that was good.
So is he ever going to pull the trigger on c6? Or is he going to shuffle a bit first, f3 and e4?
I don't like e4. I mean, that pawn structure is like, the best thing. Just keep it as it is. But I suppose it's probably still fine for White. But
it takes the f5 square, doesn't it? And then
g4 is now getting a bit awkward. So maybe White now has to play rook takes c6. I mean, he's obviously still doing very well, but
suddenly Black's bishop on e7 has some hopes.
Exactly. But White is still, this is still very good, actually.
Yeah, the rooks on A7 and A8 are just kind of on looking, aren't they? They're not. Black's going to try and get the rooks back in. Could Black's king be a little bit open here with rook G1, rook G7 coming in and such? Rook G1 and H4 and doubling up on G5. Can
Nice
Black just get
switch.
mated here?
Yeah.
H4 wins the bishop,
where's bishop going?
It's lost.
It's falling
Bishop's
off, isn't it?
Gone, yeah.
Ouch.
So, Natasha, do you know who British Isles is?
I actually don't know who British Isles is. I guess it doesn't say.
It doesn't say on his profile. Or his
Don't know, I'm afraid. But maybe someone in the chat does.
Okay,
Anyway.
1-0.
Help us.
We'll hand over to you then, shall we?
All righty, thank you
Good time
very
to-
much, James and Simon. Really nice to see you. And
Yeah. Thank you, Natasha, for having us on. Okay, thank you very much. Honored to be part of this. Everybody, donate money. Natasha will put the link up. Sorry, I didn't know how to put the link up. My apologies.
I did it. I just do ! Donate and it all works.
Okay, jolly good. Okay. Well, thank you. Lovely to see James again. Of course, it's been a long time.
Lovely
Take
to
care,
see you.
everybody. And how do we log out? Okay.
I'm going to just hide
leave,
it, and then you just close the tab when you're ready.
Right.
Okay. Right. Hi, Amit. Let me share my screen so I can. How are you? How long have you been in Canada?
I think it's been now 3 months over the winter, so it's been a bit of an experience, a real experience. I think the chess scene is obviously quite different to London, but I think found some chess enthusiasts over here as well. I think you pretty much find everywhere in the world nowadays some chess enthusiasts in any big city, so that's good. Played a tournament here as well, so I think there's a bit of a chess scene, which is always so important to all of us.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been sort of actively playing a bit of chess in Canada.
I played one tournament. I think there's not that much so far. I think, and a few, maybe after COVID, I don't know. At some point, the restrictions here have been a bit stricter. So hopefully, at some point, it sort of unravels, and then maybe be a few more tournaments. But yeah, just played one for now. But I've been watching a little bit of this stuff, but it's still quite early my time. So I was just trying to figure out what's happening in the standings. But I think it's
yes, of course. Let's review the standings. So. Guess what? Keith Arkle is going to be. Well, I guess Keith Arkle is going to be in the lead. Indeed, 667 he's now got.
So his score there is 194. So for everyone,
he's got 194 wins out of 221 games. So and this isn't just there's like loads of IMs and GMs that he's been up against. So this is a really incredible score.
And I wonder how many hours worth of playing that was, but yeah.
Well, I don't know. He maybe has been playing all the time I've been on. He's been playing. I think he's been playing solidly.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's a shame that unfortunately, no one else could really keep close, right? Because I think last year there was a pretty tight finish, wasn't there? Right?
Last year was Keith again, and the year before it was definitely a really tight finish. So the year before was between Danny Gormali and Harry Grieve, and we were hearing the story this morning. It was down to the last. He needed a draw, Harry Grieve, and you could only do it after a certain number of moves. And he got that. Just like the move after. The first time you were allowed to do it, they offered a draw, and then 1 second later the arena ended. So it was couldn't have been closer.
So for anyone watching, I mean, imagine a 24-hour thing, and then it comes to the last game. It's like
incredible.
And
Matthew Sadler's pointing out that. Keith's broken his record for last year because what he wanted to do was score more points than last year.
And he scored how many last year?
He was 655 last year.
Oh wow! So he's already cleared that, and
he's already cleared it with 3 hours to go.
So what does he do now? Does he set a record?
He's going to have to set a new record next year, isn't he?
Does he leave it now, and then maybe for next year he can still try and overtake potentially? Because I guess that's
a good point to leave some space in hand. Yeah. Yeah.
Natasha, were there any? So who were the grandmasters played? So I see Mark Hebden is there.
So Hebs has played. I'll tell you who else has played. There's David Howell was playing earlier, and we also had. Ukrainian grandmasters as well. Let me see if I can find. Let's see if we can find them in the list. I am Richard Bates.
Yeah.
We've got GM Mikhail Golubov.
Yep.
I am Omisek. I am Viktor Sklaryov. I am Bazar Wuxal and Candidate Master Piscatorix. We've got loads of title players. Big Al, Ali Mortazavi.
Ali Mortazavi,
yeah. And Simon, of course. Simon, Ginger GM. He's played a lot. And Thomas Rendell, I am, and Nutflush. And David Walker.
And Natasha, you've played a game there?
I've just played like 1 out of 2. There you go. I played 2, but it was like at 1 a.m. last night. So.
I'm on 0 out of 1, so I just.
Are you okay?
So,
yeah.
Whose game should we take a look at then? Maybe
let's have a look. Shall we see? Let's see. Let's see Mikhail Golubov.
Yeah.
Okay, playing against Whatnot.
So I think Tristan was telling me he's a bit of an expert on the King's Indian, if I'm not wrong. Apologies to everyone if I've just made a massive mistake there, but I think he's an expert with the King's Indian apparently. But this is obviously not a King's Indian.
He's got this open G file, although I guess it's blocked by this pawn. So.
But I think he's also, if I'm counting my pieces right, he's got an extra rook as well.
Extra rook's going to help.
That might, in the long run.
Yes, and this knight's on freeze too, so.
Yeah, white's.
Yeah, so this should be. We would expect Mikhail to win this game for sure.
Yeah. I guess some tricks with the knights, but yeah. So queen takes d4 here might not be so wise because black can play knight b3, and then there's a fork.
Oh, Lawrence, we also forgot to say Lawrence Trent, Grandmaster, played. Yeah. And Lance Leslie Smith in the chat has jumped up to 5th place. So congratulations to you. I think he's been playing all night as well.
I've definitely played in one of these, I think early ones. And I think, you can play 80 or 90 games and you kind of think that's great. But to play 200 plus games is pretty intense.
It is a lot of games.
Blurred vision and everything, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So white did not take on d4 because of that fork, which is a bit sneaky, and so he brought his queen to a4 instead. Yeah, I can't say I see that. Oh, thanks for the arrows, Natasha. That's amazing. So you managed to recruit a great crowd, right, for the commentary as well?
Yes, it's very nice. Thanks so much to all the commentators. It's been really nice to see. Like some people you haven't seen for a little while. It's very nice.
Yeah. But I guess it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, the likes of Mickey and others, right? The best of British chess. So that's amazing.
Yes. Thing is, right, Golubov's got all his pieces on the back rank.
But now I think those last couple of moves, sometimes you give up a bit of material as white, so you're not too materialistic, but now everything's defended, right? That bishop on c1 is going to come to e3, and literally on e3 it protects the f4 is double protected now by white, and f2 is no longer a weak point, so.
Yeah, so he's kind of controlling it, so black just doesn't have any real dangerous play.
Exactly. So he maybe gave a bit of material up in the last few moves, I think, but maybe he didn't. I think white's doing very nicely now.
Yeah. We were hearing yesterday from Alexander. He was saying that some of the Ukrainian players have to kind of struggle with internet connections that aren't too good, so you maybe have to do it off the mobile phone. So we saw one player losing on time just because they disconnected. So there's always that risk.
Gosh, yeah, can't really imagine it, can we?
No.
But clearly, it's such a strong chess history there, right? And so many players, and I think it's great that you've managed to get a few of those guys as well to play.
It's been really nice, actually. Yeah, thanks to them for joining the stream and to play in the tournament, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, I think white's now going to mop up on b6, and it's going to be over in a few.
It's going to be over. Okay. We're going to trust Mikhail to convert this one.
Have there been many juniors playing as well, Natasha? Or?
Yeah, there are juniors playing. Now, let me see if we can find. Let's find some juniors.
Oh, there's a Keith Arco Richard Bates game.
Let's see Keith Arco Richard Bates.
Yeah,
not exactly juniors, but not by any stretch.
It's great. So Keith, at the end of 2.5 hours. Well, sorry, not 2.5. I mean, 22 hours almost. I think
22 hours play,
and
he's still got a rook and pawn ending. It's like clockwork.
But what's amazing? Oh, that's a strange. Did Richard hope that?
What's he trying for? Is he trying for a stalemate or something? I
think Richard was thinking maybe Keith, after so long, would be,
wouldn't notice.
A free move or something with P4 or.
Nice try, Ricky B. Nice try. Okay.
I mean, you see there straight away, right? Keith's time management. I mean, just 3 minute 20 to finish off the game. I think says a lot.
Okay, let's see these two IMs playing. So Victor Skliarov against Chris Baker. And they've got into an endgame bishop against knight.
The whites are pawn up, and also that pawn on a5 is going to drop after bishop c7.
Oh, yes.
Black was going to play knight d5, but white plays bishop d5 anyway, and now also protects the pawn. So
okay, and white's won. Well done, Victor.
That was a bit of a annoying move for Black here. He lost, he lost his pawn as well as his knight on d5 when it came to attack on c3. The bishop was also protecting that as well.
Yeah.
Everything was just turned against him there.
Okay. So are you a speed chess player? I know you are. I've seen you play speed chess, Amit.
Yeah, just,
At it. Oh, that looks like a good one. Skliarov Hepton, I just saw.
Yeah.
We've got to see that.
I think the bug, right, of playing blitz chess, but nowadays it's all changed. I think when I was at least playing online, it would be blitz 3 minutes flat and sometimes 1 minute if you felt ambitious, but now it seems like there's these bullets and I don't know, hyper bullets and
it's so fast. Can you play that fast?
I can't know. I've never played 15 seconds. Never. I've seen people almost like pre-move from start to finish to the end of the game. It seems very odd.
Haven't you been the British Blitz champion before?
Yeah. Good old days. I've definitely loved playing Blitz. So for me, one of my favorite things just to play Blitz chess. But
have you got any tips on how to be a good Blitz player?
Yeah, I think they always say there's a couple of things I'd say. Firstly, they say if you want to. I think if there's like a certain threshold. I mean, clearly playing a certain amount of it is helpful. But if you overplay Blitz, and certainly if you overplay bullets, I think you can destroy your actual chess, which obviously then contributes to your Blitz going forward as well. So almost by virtue of overplaying it, you sometimes end up possibly even weaker at Blitz. And, at least in my experience.
Practice makes perfect, but only up to a certain extent.
Excellently said. But I think just being just becoming a lot stronger at actual, what I was going to say actual chess, but just slow chess, right? Just playing very, making sure you learn lots of different motifs and do lots of tactic training, all that sort of stuff, and then you just really apply that, but a lot obviously in a very condensed and quick format, and that's it. But I think sticking to the basics and making sure you understand the fundamentals is so important, and that's for everyone, I think, and maybe for Magnus it's different, but for a lot of the rest of everyone else, I think there's so much to learn from endings to everything. So this is quite interesting. Things turned out, they got a bit spicy. Black's going to play bishop takes f6 and bishop takes c3 now. And material is level, but white has got a very pleasant position here because you see Black's pawns on c6 and d6. They're
this one, vulnerable. Isn't it? That if white gets that sort of thing in.
So the thing that I don't, the thing about white is everything, his pawns are on the white squares, and he has a black colored bishop, and I think a dark colors, bishop on dark colored squares, and so this is, that's the optimum, I'd say, formation here for white. But obviously continuing and trying to win the game is a different matter altogether.
They've both been pretty quick to get to this far.
Yep, Mark's built up a 45-second time advantage there.
Yeah.
So white doesn't have, I have to say, not an obvious way to proceed, but just maybe bishop e3 and developing moves would be reasonable. I think I would have played bishop e3 with about 5 seconds thought.
He's done it.
Just to keep the ball rolling, not looking for this magic move.
Yeah.
I think white took a little bit longer, thinking maybe there's something a bit more there, but
yeah,
it's not so easy. Clearly, black's rooks are now very active as well, so he will exert some pressure on the e4 pawn at some point. So that's a very clever move. So black's, I think, trying to just eye again, maybe eye long term that e4 pawn, so that queen on b7. If we show that diagonal, if you're able to. Oh, no, great. c5 might come in, but I think at this moment it's still a bit weakening because c5 would allow white to play rook d5.
Yeah.
You know, so that's no good for black either. So in the meantime, white's just eyed up that pawn on a6. So his next move, I expect, will be queen e2.
E2, yeah.
And casually just, yeah. And I think it's a bit sad, but I think black has to play rook a8 there, really.
Okay. So is it enough to win, I wonder? We will see.
Yeah, that's a good point. Who knows? But it's the sort of position as white you can just keep playing on for a long, long time and just, you know, make moves. And
you'd want to double rooks here, wouldn't you? But the bishop's covering.
Exactly. Oh, is that not dropping a pawn? But then black has bishop c3. Bishop c3, but then white has rook a7 anyway. So I think that's...
okay, so this is, you can take this.
Yeah, white can safely take that right now. Because if black was to play bishop c3, and I thought that was the plan because he unveils an attack on the rook and at the same time frees his 2 rooks up onto the e4 pawn. But after that, as white, you think, well, what can I do with my rook to move it and with tempo? So rook a7.
Oh, queen a6, he's gone.
Yeah, I think that's still...
Okay, so he's giving up that one, but he'll get this one instead.
As well as on c6 as well.
Or c6, yes. Oh, maybe both.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a really good deal.
Yeah. So what can black play? Queen d7.
Black's defending. Our checkmate a lot is saying maybe he could have gone d5 instead of a5.
Ooh, so black's now has to give up the exchange, right?
This is a nasty fork.
Yeah, so black has nothing better, I think, now than to give up the
just rook takes bishop. Yeah.
So white will play, I think, queen takes e3. So black can't play bishop e5 here either. So how does he defend the pawn? Okay. Yeah, so this is obviously now a very simple win, I'd say, for white.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nicely done. So who's the white player? It's Victor
Sklerov. And one of his friends was on the stream yesterday, and we were asking about his Victor's style of play. And he said he was a very positional player. So you wouldn't necessarily see like a lot of big attacks, but he sort of kind of understands positions, very good at end games. So I'm pretty sure he'll convert this.
Yeah. You saw the whole game. I mean, I think, yeah, his pawns were on the right squares, his bishop was on the others. You know, yeah, it seemed like he had a very good position understanding. So, and even now you can see that black bishop, you know, has very little scope. And now white plays queen d3 with a plan to play rook b1. So whenever you've got a passed pawn, you want to put your rook behind it, and then
and this one's just gonna run.
Yep. Very nicely done.
Nice one. Okay, we'll assume that Victor will win this one. And let's see. Okay. Now, I think there was a request in the chat. Joe Wildman. Let me see if we can see that. Wildman chess.
Yep, I see Wildman chess.
Let's try it. This might, I think it might be the next game, but let's see Wildman chess.
So should we have a quick rewind of what happened? It's only 12 moves, so we'll be able to do that reasonably quickly.
London, no, not quite the London system. This is this one's like
I think we used to call it.
Standbad used to play this. What did you call it?
I used to call it the Verisov, I think.
Verisov. Okay. Oh, this is all over. But I'm gonna.
Not sure actually. I'm lying. That was with Bishop G5. Yeah. So this is something else. Unfortunately, I don't know the name. If Matthew's watching.
Okay. Check. Okay. This went wrong quite early. Yeah.
Ooh,
and resigns.
It's a bit of a mauling.
Yeah.
You got a request to watch that from whom? Sorry, was that?
That was from our chat. That was from Lance Leslie Smith. But I think it probably wasn't referring to this particular game, though. I think it was maybe referring to the previous game. But let's look at Minkwitz, who was is James Vigus, who was just commentating just now. Who is playing? He's playing white. His king's going on a bit of a run, but they're in the endgame, so that's fine. Jabava London.
So now white, plays knight c3, and so he's going to win an exchange by force. Yeah, so knight c3, rook a7. But does white have 3? So white has a knight and a pawn for a rook, and I'd say he has definitely some chances here to hold. But sorry, he's only got 2 seconds.
Oh my goodness, yes, I didn't notice. It's going to run out of time. Unlucky Minkwitz. Okay. So let's see.
Tom Rendell, my foreign CL teammate.
Tom Rendell, yes.
Let's see. Some sort of English, I guess. Very, very principled play by Tom.
And Tom was commentating last night.
Oh, really? Wonderful.
Yeah.
So he's been playing a fair few games, has he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he has. Yeah.
Beautiful play by white. So he's now got a very strong bishop, and he's won the central pawn, black central pawn on e5. So, yep, this is pretty one-sided, I'd say now. But let's see.
Yeah, because black can't castle, just because this knight would drop.
Yeah. It's one of those strange things in chess, I'm very attached to my bishops, and I hate exchanging them no matter how much damage they'll be doing. So here, white has a great...
That's interesting to me, because we had some conversations earlier today, and everybody was saying, well, actually, the knights are better in Blitz chess.
Really?
There are a lot of knights. It's for very fast chess that knights, they're more tricky. So
yeah, I mean, of course, knights for tricks are definitely the hardest. But I think for blitz or rapid, I find playing with the bishops is so much easier. You can get sometimes so much scope with just one piece, and very little. You can be almost on autopilot, especially if the bishop's on the G2, H1 to A8 diagonal. In the sort of Reti or Catalan type structures. You just always have this nagging slight advantage in a lot of positions where, even if it's objectively equal, it's very hard to play against.
These bishops are looking pretty nice, aren't they?
Well, yeah. This bishop on d6 is very, very good. So black has probably nothing much better than to exchange queens here. Well, that's very risky. Black's king is in the center of the board, hasn't castled, and is refusing to go into an endgame. And now Tom brings the rook up. So the one piece you could say in white's position.
Oh yes.
Wasn't doing that much. It is now.
Now it can come around to wherever.
And when that rook comes in, it'll be completely over.
Yeah.
Look at the opening, actually.
Yes.
It's Tom. I'm sure there'll be some interesting points. So yeah, in English, but with 2b3, which I have to admit not knowing anything about. So I guess white's, yeah, it's just playing chess.
Okay, and brings the knight around this way, an H pawn in.
But you can see the white strategy in this game was very much, playing against that black bishop on b6, and how that bishop didn't have very much scope. So white played exchange the c pawn from a central black pawn, and then you can compare the black's bishop on b6 there. Maybe we can just do a quick thing where we compare the black bishop and compared to white's on b2, and you can see that the difference. One has got full scope, and that whole diagonal is looking quite vulnerable, whereas if you look at white's protection on the opposing diagonal, if you like, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe not so much difference in the positions apart from that, but that's at least from my
This bishop's pretty good.
Yeah.
And this one has a choice, I suppose, here or even swap.
Exactly, and I think not so much in it, but except for that one, except for those dark square bishops, very big difference. So, has Tom mopped up already?
Let's see.
It looked up the rook before there wasn't much to go. I feel like this should be a very nice mate here, but okay. Successful.
That's going to be enough, yeah. And we'll pay for Randall. Okay. Let's see who else we've got. We better do David Sedgwick, because David Sedgwick has offered to donate £5 for every time we look at one of his games.
Oh, very nice.
Although so far we keep picking ones where he's losing. So, hi, Smooth Baron.
So white has got an extra pawn and a very, very strong bishop on g7, but I don't see an immediate win for him or her. So white is white an IM, Natasha?
Oh, yes. Let me see who that is.
Is it a name that we recognise?
Let's see if it says Jeff Lawton.
Jeff?
Yes, from Birmingham.
Yes, my coach.
Oh, wonderful. How nice. Oh, Smooth Baron, we keep showing your losses as well. Sorry. And missing your win versus a 2500 IM. Oh, Smooth Baron. I think Jeff's going to win on time in this one.
Yeah.
I actually wonder if David's disconnected.
I think maybe not. I mean, I can see why you'd say that, but I think maybe not. I think black doesn't have very many good moves here, though.
Nothing much to do. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, okay. Well done, Jeff Lawton. Unlucky David Sedgwick. All right. So, who else shall we see? Have we seen Keith yet? We better see some Keith, given he's leading the tournament.
He deserves it completely, right? He deserves some airtime after that.
Yeah. He has had a fair amount of airtime, to be fair.
So this is an interesting type thing where maybe it's some sort of Maroczy bind or some. Yeah, okay, I'm cheating now. I see there it says English Open symmetrical variation. Well, there you go. Black's b4 pawn is actively sort of stopping two pawns there. But it's an interesting one because clearly that seems like it could be in black's favor right now because he has an extra central pawn. But come the endgame, it could be different, and maybe that pawn on b4 could be a bit vulnerable. So interesting type position. So hard to say for sure, but I think if given a choice, I would take black.
Okay, yeah.
But it's hard to explain why.
I suppose this pawn is kind of stopping these two from moving, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah. So black will look to do something in the center at some point, but clearly he doesn't. He wants to sort of time it right because, yeah. So maybe queen e5 here. Oh wait, it was white coming back. Apologies. Yeah, that's.
Keith will want to swap the queens, won't he? Just like
See,
his normal style-wise. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he'll have to force himself not to, because I don't think in this position that'll be to his benefit.
Okay. Oh, that would be interesting. All right then, Amit. So I reckon the queens will be the next pieces off. Well, I suppose there's a pair of rooks that could very well come off soon, but
Do we have to be?
You think the rooks will come off?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we have to be careful not to make wagers on you know?
we won't actually bet any money.
So I'll say.
Oh look, Keith just. Oh, I was going to say he avoided the rook exchange, but
I'll say rooks now for sure. Sorry, but I'm cheating.
All right. Okay, for now it's fair. Queens or rooks. So I'm saying queens.
I would say. I'm going to say pawns.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good bet.
But queen d. See, this is now getting a bit interesting. So queen d4, black will play f6, I think, and white now takes a pawn. Does that count as a pawn, Natasha? Do I win that one?
No, that's not a swap.
So black can play rook e5 maybe. He has not many better moves, at least that I can see. What? Oh wow.
Oh, I'm completely wrong. The rooks came off.
Okay, so black has played very solidly and said, yeah, I'm now going to take a draw, I think, which is obviously the objectively correct thing to do.
I think he's still playing for a win, Well, maybe you can't with those 2 pawns. Yeah, maybe you can't.
Because white, yeah, I think... yeah, I mean, I think... Oh, wow. So Keith, by taking the rook with a pawn, is still has the options for the perpetual check, so he's not lost anything.
Yeah.
But Keith doesn't want the perpetual.
He's threatening queen h1, mate.
That's true. Maybe I was a bit too quick to say that. So I guess white was going to play g4. Oh, okay. Now white's in trouble.
Yeah, now he's going to take there.
Now white's in trouble.
And now he's threatening queen g4, isn't he?
Yeah. So I think white in that position had to play g4. And actually, maybe even there, I was wrong. I was too quick to say it because I think he had a tactic to win the pawn on e4. But I think what Keith showed there as well is, I think...
Golden Spired Phoenix, thank you for streaming my 7-year-old Grace's game against Tom Rendell. Oh, Grace, fantastic.
Maybe we can follow her again before the end of the
stream. We will, Golden Spired Phoenix. We'll see her in a minute. Yeah. It's a tough one against Tom Rendell, of course.
Yeah. Tom played an amazing game, so it was very tough. So still, I'd say white is, clearly white's absolutely fine here, but, Keith is trying to find some tricks, and I think that's a bit of an annoying check. So white's now going to win another pawn. Black's going to win another pawn on a2, and of course can win on b3 if, white will not lose pawn on b3.
All right, what do you reckon the result of this game then?
I think black will win this.
Black will win, I think.
I'm not sure that's the objective correct evaluation, but I think it's one of those positions that even, it's still very difficult to just draw and with the time advantage as well.
Because Keith's fully warmed up now after 20 hours of play.
He's on autopilot, I think.
Yeah.
G7 and maybe G5 to come.
Oh, trying for maybe queen g4.
Yeah, so queen g4 will win another pawn now, I think. Yeah, so okay. Queen g4 wins a pawn. Oh, no. E5. No, he can't play E5. E5. If only that was legal.
Yeah.
I feel like black has some checkmate option here somehow, but yeah. Okay. King f7.
Oh, you could bring the
Bring
queen.
your king back. Bring your white king back, please. It looks very shaky on.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like queen g4. There, it's in queen g4. Oh, yeah. It's a good point to meet.
Oh, it's all over.
It is all over now.
So black's in time to bring his queen back to protect the pawn.
c5, yeah. And then the
everything.
extra 3 pawns. Oh, Keith got his exchange in.
When you're up on material, you swap off into.
Well done. All right, we want to see gold-inspired Phoenix next. So let's see if she's playing. 7 years old. Fantastic to be playing in this. Well done, Grace.
She got to play against in
Here we go.
The last game.
Here we go. Look, here's gold-inspired Phoenix. So she is playing white against Quental. King's Gambit accepted. Fantastic.
Oh, really?
I shouldn't be encouraging it, but I really like the King's Gambit.
So
Let's do it from the start. Grace, learn other openings as well, but play this and other things too, I would say. But this is lovely.
This is a nice position. So white had an opportunity there to fork the knight and bishop with g4. So
yes. So this move.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's a bit dangerous, or do you think that's?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was. He said it's Grace. Maybe she felt maybe felt that that was a bit dangerous to the king side, but definitely I think something you do to take material when you get offered it. Definitely.
That's right. 5.
So white played. Okay.
Looking nice.
It's a reasonably solid bishop h4.
You wouldn't know she was only 7.
Oh, very impressive.
Is where we are at the moment. Okay, let's see it. Okay, so black's trying to undermine this center.
Grace needs to bring her remaining 2 pieces on a1 and b1 into the game very soon.
Yes.
Hopefully she plays knight d2 very soon and exchanges black's active knight on e4, and at the same time.
Good point, Amit. Yes, this is the most active black piece, isn't it? So if we can swap that one for that one, this is going to be the good thing to do.
You can see that Quental's not allowing it now, right? Because he's causing confusion, and white's pieces still remain momentarily away from the action. So that's the key thing.
So is queen g5 going to be dangerous? We can just. I know.
Oh, white did have queen takes d5 check there. So
yes, with check.
Maybe that would have been okay, but yeah.
So what now? What if you bring this knight out? Is this? It's presumably this is. Oh, this is a fork anyway, at least. Yeah.
That's a good move. That prevents queen g5. I like that.
Mm.
Yeah. No, that was probably the
move.
Yeah, almost an only move I would have said. So that's good that Grace played it. Black has a bit of an awkward position. Yeah, okay. Now white can play queen takes d5.
Ooh, yes. Check.
And then, but it has to play very precisely. So after king h8, white will be very careful, but won't take one on e5 with the rook, but with the queen, hopefully.
Queen to defend this g3, because there's a little weak square there, g3. So queen takes defending. And
that queen and rook really funnily, but just completely sort of.
Yeah. Oh, she can take it. This is a win for Grace.
I think this is going to be a win if she can play. I think.
Just get the knight out next, and.
Is there increment today?
No increment. No increment.
Oh, great win.
Fantastic. Well played. 7-year-old Grace. Fantastic game. Okay.
Great that we covered that game.
Yes. Great. We saw it. Okay. We better. Oh, it was Keith against Nigel. We should see. So Nigel Towers, who organise this tournament, organise the event.
Okay, so Keith hasn't got that much in this particular position, but no doubt there'll be tricks, and now there already is actually. It seems quite, Black seems very, very solid, but it's slightly annoying this position now because White will play Rook B2, and you can see that pawn on A6.
Yes.
Pawn in Black's side.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, this is going to come in maybe.
So King C6.
That one, when
King
the
D4.
king's out the way, yeah. It's not too bad, is it?
For Black, yeah, it's
Black. Oh, well,
it's not. No, you're right. But I feel like it's strange because it feels like Black is, doing very well. But I think I would take White because that pawn on A6 is such a thorn. And now White plays E4. Yeah. And White might even be winning now, actually. I don't know. But seems a bit uncomfortable for Black right now.
yeah.
Practically very hard to play, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. If King takes D5, Rook B7, Black has this move King C6. Okay, he didn't play it. Rook A5 now. Rook B5. Okay.
Now, what about this king and pawn end game? If White exchanges, that might be fine for Black because of the outside pass pawn, right?
Yeah. So I don't see how. I think that would be absolutely fine for Black because eventually you would have that outside pawn, as you said.
This is fine for Black as well, isn't it? Am I being over optimistic on Nigel's behalf?
I'm trying to figure it out as well.
Hi, Grace. Nice game.
I think so. I think Black's absolutely. Yeah, I struggle with. I think with endings, you kind of need to spend a lot of time looking at them to know for sure. But
yeah.
White has now two connected pawns, which it just feels very uncomfortable for Black right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels very, very slow for Black right now. So Rook B8 check is, I think, just winning. So Black shouldn't play Rook B6 because that would be a losing endgame.
Yeah, because this king's still inside the square in case.
You have to be very when you have 1 versus 2. I mean, you have to be very fast because now, at some point White will just give his Rook up for that Black pawn when Black's king and Rook are fully sort of moving towards the A1 square, and I think by then White's G and H pawns will be very much ready to queen.
So you got to put the Rook behind. Well, even if you put the Rook behind the pawn, White can stop it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. It looks like it's a win for White, doesn't it?
Is there any tricks? Check. Yeah. No. This is now it's looking more and more lost. So yeah, I think Keith is. I always find it's very interesting how different players have different strengths, and so Keith and I have probably got a similar FIDE rating or whatever, but his knowledge of endings is just phenomenal, and it's all on autopilot. So he plays it incredibly fast. So even now here, I was starting to get a bit worried when Black had his king back, albeit Black's got no time left, but I think he may have already seen all this.
Yeah. Okay. Well done, Keith. Let's see. Let us see. Oh, Golubov Arkle.
Oh, okay.
We should really see that. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to just do a little bit of emailing behind the scenes to make sure Malcolm has the right links. So if I'm quiet, that's why.
No worries. So this is a very standard sort of Caro. I think one that Keith probably plays. I think White's definitely got something here. Because he has the bishop pair, so maybe a slight edge, but Black's pawn structure is very solid, and I know Keith's very comfortable with this sort of pawn structure. So black does not wait at all and decides he wants to break open the center with c5. That's a very interesting, but also quite committal, I guess, decision. And now white's bishops are quite nicely placed. Slightly uncomfortable right now for black, but I think he's going to try and have some exchanges, and then things might ease up. So, for instance, that knight on f6 to d5 or to d7, and just getting rid of one of white's bishops seems quite, at least to me, somewhat of a sensible decision. So at least I think that's the plan in the next couple of moves. So I think knight d5 now, knight f d5.
Okay, he's done his other knight.
He thought I'd be able to read his plans better than this, but didn't quite get it right on this one. b6. Yeah. So knight c5 is obviously coming next. And white is going to play maybe queen c2 or queen a3. Okay. Knight d5, I expect now, or maybe he'll play. Keith will play.
Knight d5, he has. You're absolutely right, Amit.
I feel better now. So
you're on the same wavelength as Keith.
Yeah, you can see how it's interesting, right? Because a few moves earlier, I would have said white was looking a bit dangerous with those bishops, but now it seems to become pretty neutralized, I'd say. So, but now black's slightly awkward there for a few moves here with the knight on d7, and white's taking advantage. So if black played knight takes b4, queen c3, or queen b2 would have won a piece. And so has white got a slight pull here? Okay. Seems a bit awkward now for black, actually. Knight e5 looks very strong.
Yeah.
It turned for a few moves. I mean, black seems to have completely equalized it, and even more so. But I think white just got very aggressive, and now still very interesting. Knight f5, queen c3. I think white has to take advantage of that slightly awkward diagonal. So black has to play queen e7 here, I'd say.
Yeah, this pass pawn's quite nice to have that, isn't it?
Yeah. See, it could be an advantage. It could be a disadvantage as well at some point in the future.
Might be weak, do you think?
Yeah, I didn't like that initially because I feel white has this long-term pressure now on that diagonal. I don't even, white almost could sack a piece here with knight e5 and say knight d7. I think black would take on a6 and play e5 afterwards. But you can see that the diagonal is very awkward.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw a line on it. There we go. With this knight. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. This is
very awkward diagonals.
This is going to exploit it already, isn't it?
So I think black will have to play queen takes c5 here now. Yeah. And of course, he's got a couple of pawns for the piece. So Keith will try hard to carry on. He's got a minute and a minute and a half time advantage as well. So
now we were saying Mikhail's also an endgames player, so it shouldn't phase him. Okay, and Mikhail's swapping off pieces now.
So yeah, when you've got a bit of material advantage, always often a good thing to do. But Keith's obviously not obliged to do that just yet. So we'll play rook a3, and now, okay. But I think this is a bit. It's weird because black has got a couple of pawns, but because they're doubled as well, there's not so much scope. So now white will play knight e5 maybe, or knight g5. Okay.
Double threat. Yeah. Okay. Now, would you take on h7 or just f7? Yes, of course.
Yeah, I think black has to go for somehow activity here. So bringing your king in is one way. Maybe knight g3. Knight g3 has to be played, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I like knight g3 sort of pinning. But Keith's move on h5 is, exactly. I think he's thinking the same thing. He wants to anchor. Yeah, so white stopped black anchoring a knight on g3 by playing h4 there. So maybe some chances for black here still, right? Practically, at least.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. So Mikhail's trying to gang up on that e6 pawn. Do you think there's anything this knight and rook can do?
Yeah.
You could still go for a knight g3 plan, but but just take on e6 straight away.
Yeah. Bishop d3, no, that's terrible. Okay, so
Bishop d3 is so tempting.
I think it's
And you've got f2 and rook c1 check and stuff to worry about.
But now it's what's happening here. I mean, king g3 at the very least is absolutely fine for black, isn't it? Yeah. So Keith muddied the waters for sure, and did very well in what seemed to be a challenging position. So now he's got knight d2. Knight d2.
Knight d2. Knight f3. Oh no, that's on freeze.
So knight d2 has the virtue of both defending the pawn on f3 and attacking on f1.
Yeah.
So
Knight f5, mate, says Danny.
Oh gosh, I'm an idiot.
Was there a mate in one?
Yeah, that was literally a mate in one. Yeah.
Thanks, Danny.
Was that Danny Gomali?
Danny Gomali.
Thanks, Danny. Oh no!
It's
the rook.
It's the rook.
Oh, well played, guys. No, that was definitely an entertaining game. That was great. And lucky for us to have Danny around to,
remind us of mates in one.
Mate in one. And that has to be one of the best commentator misses today, right, Natasha? Or...
Oh, I think we've done it. I think we have excelled.
We achieved that, did we?
The best mate in one, yeah. Right. What about Fly Zuber against Richard Bates? Let's see that, because Fly Zuber's he was right up there. He was like in second place last night. I think he's still. I'm going to just check the standings. 7th place now.
So Tristan is in 6th. Rock Troll.
Oh gosh, sure he is. Yes.
Mark Ebden in 4th position.
Yes.
Hard to call this position, I'd say, overall, but I think White's looking dangerous, I'd say. White's got very active pieces, but clearly has to be still quite careful. Knight c4 now, maybe? Oh, no, rook c4.
Ah, Malcolm's joining. There we go. Hello, Malcolm. How are you?
Hi, Natasha and Amit. I've accidentally clicked on the link. Am I going to get paired? Will I have to play as well?
Oh, which link have you clicked?
Yeah, get Malcolm to play and commentate.
I'm getting this before I commentate.
You continue your game. We'll commentate on it while you're playing. That'll put you off if anything.
All right. Oh no, I haven't clicked join. I have to click join in order to make it happen.
You haven't clicked join. Oh, that's good. Okay, fine.
I mean, maybe I'll do that during the stream for a laugh.
Yes. Yeah. We'll get
Peter, are you abroad at the moment?
Yes, I'm in Canada, Malcolm.
You're in Canada, yeah?
Yeah. Trying to find out more about the chess scene. I was saying at the start, I played a few tournaments, so that's been good.
Oh, great.
Are you going to come back to England?
Over summer, I think. But I'm not sure. I think I don't know. I was thinking about coming back for the British as well, but we'll see how it goes. But would be.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you must. Yeah, come back for the British. Come and be the Blitz champion again.
Yeah. There should be a GM norm in the British, because planning to invite some GMs and things. So.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Anyone any requests for who to watch, or I will pick one. I'm going to try maybe go for one.
If Tom Rendell is white, let's go to Tom.
Yes.
Is
Tom
that Sonny Baker? Is Sonny Baker Tom? Right.
No. T. Rendell is Tom, and Sonny Baker is Chris Baker.
Chris Baker.
It's Chris Baker. Of course, the motorbike. What a giveaway. Yeah, the picture of a motorbike in the handle. Of course.
No, where was Tom Rendell?
Right at the bottom.
Oh, there we go. There we are. Got it.
There's Alex Holochek,
Yes, we'll look at him as well in a moment.
Always pick on the chess arbiters. So some sort of weird perk, or
yeah, looks like a modern defense. Yeah.
Hi, Wilsonia. Yeah.
But yeah, Tom plays very well against us. I played a few games with the black side against him online. I think he's done quite well. So white's knight on f4 and g5 are quite annoying.
Black and castle. Oh, that's nasty. That's mean and nasty.
Yeah. Does black have anything better than rook b8 right now? Oh, fine.
Now you could go like knight. Could you go knight g6?
Oh, Natasha. Yeah, you definitely could now because of c7 hanging.
Oh, yes, you could. Knight g6 now is good, isn't it?
I think I'll just go knight e6 straight in.
But then black could possibly play king e6, king f7.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just play on, right? We'll take a7 or something. I don't know.
Black's also got a very handy extra pawn right now on b4 as well. And A1 is ready to jump in. So, yeah.
Well, it's very
I do like watching Tom with the white pieces. I think he's quite aggressive.
He's very well prepared, isn't he, Tom?
Yeah, definitely. There was some weird sacrifice lines in the Sicilian where it just looked like to me black was winning a pawn, and there was some very deep comments or deep sort of understanding why that wasn't the case. So, all his pieces are just beautiful right now. So nice on g5, everything is just great. So
yeah, he's just ensuring he's won a second pawn for nothing, right?
Yeah.
What do you even do as black here? Like every move seems to make it worse.
Exactly. You said it right. I mean, moving away the knight from d7 and now f7 is looking very weak if white plays queen b3, right?
And c5's just gone. Oh, here you go.
Looking very weak.
Can we take it? Yeah.
I think we can feel black's pain though. I think it was very uncomfortable. So it's Tom.
I suppose you could take back with a pawn.
Yeah. Was he thinking of playing queen b3? Or...
Yeah.
White. There's a few options here.
Queen c7 if you want to be boring about it. Yeah.
You up in Liverpool at the moment, Malcolm?
No, I came down on the train. I got a day return.
Nice.
I went to watch the game and then I went around to a friend's house and then got back in the day because it was an early kickoff, 12:30, which is now presumably you just go e4 as a matter of principle, right? After the recapture. That's if there is going to be a recapture, of course.
I'm wondering if there's going to be a recapture.
Like a punt.
Yeah. Exactly. I was trying to figure out whether white's going to play rook takes f7 and then bring the other rook into a7, but I think he's gone with the standard So you're saying E4 maybe something?
Just go E. I mean, you just got to go E4 because there's nothing else to do.
By the way, Fly Zuba, who's playing black, is also a strong player. We saw some of their games last night, and they were very strong too. Ukrainian player.
Ah, it's a Ukrainian player. Okay. Yeah, I noticed a lot of Ukrainians in the list, which is really nice.
Really nice, yeah. Could take with the pawn now.
Yeah. That doesn't look good.
Pawn takes, and then White's opened the F file as well for his rook. So
that's not very sociable.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff by White.
That's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does look it.
Have you managed a few games yet, Malcolm, or are you gonna today?
No, I was thought maybe I'll just play one on principle. Hold on, let me try.
So I've achieved two things today. I finished on 0 out of 1, and I also missed a mate on 1 in commentary. So yeah, those.
Oh, we did miss mate on 1, didn't we? We had to have Danny Gomali in the chat.
I was just about to criticize Keith and say how he'd missed this move, which was going to win a piece, and then Danny apparently said, "Oh, we've got nice F5 checkmate."
Well, I'll see if I can surpass you and miss a mate and none. As in, I won't even notice
Mate's on the board and we don't spot it, Malcolm. That's what we're aiming for.
Okay, I'm playing a game. One
You're
game
playing?
before we start commentary.
Are you? Okay, we've got to commentate on Malcolm. Is your name Malcolm?
I've got black as well.
Yeah. Are you Malcolm Payne, or have you got a...
I am as the chap who used to sell white goods down the road from us, a man who trades under his own name, yes.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Let's see it. Okay.
It's the Schmidt.
What's the rules? Are we allowed to commentate?
Yeah, we are. We won't help. We'll be... We'll just make silly comments.
On the contrary, yes.
We'll put you off. Or we actually, I'll tell you how to put you off. We can just say what an awesome positional player you are and how every move is like poetry. I think that'll...
Before everything descends into complete hackery.
Yeah.
White, bishop takes f6, so black has the dark square.
Well, beautiful moves by black.
Just trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe this. Is this really a Benoni Indian defense? I don't know, but okay. White hasn't played his pawn on c4. I thought that meant something. But...
It's a Schmidt Benoni.
Oh,
it's usually
see, all that says. I don't know the moves for that, but everyone says that's really dodgy.
Yeah, the Schmidt Benoni was delivered a fatal blow in, I think it was 1978, in one of the when Korchnoi played it against Karpov, and Karpov duffed him up.
Okay.
I think I sense what's coming here. Okay.
Hack attack.
Yeah. I think it's extreme violence is on the cards.
I'm going to check out who your opponent is. Aussie.
This has an English flag.
Andrew Hargreaves.
Flag. Andrew Hargreaves, okay. It keeps saying Aussie will auto-resign. I don't know what that means.
Oh. I wouldn't count on it.
They were thinking...
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. Okay, I mean, we have to fight fire with stupidity, right? Okay, well, let's just develop a piece anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very, very sensible. I thought B5 was on the cards there when you said that.
Yeah, no, trust me, I was thinking about it. We might see it. We might see it in a minute. Ooh, what?
F4.
Ooh, what? Okay, come on.
B5. This is fighting fire.
That feels like the only appropriate response.
Any game as well. That's great.
Yeah. By the way, in principle, in these positions, I think black should always take with the pawn and go f5 anyway, but I didn't. More fool me. Okay, well, I've opened a file before him, so there. No.
But you did give away a pawn to do it.
A pawn? A mere trifle.
Give me a pawn. Blue Grey Haze is Malcolm. You're playing under the US flag.
I know. I've got a very, very funny story about my Instagram that I'm going to share on Twitter at some point. He's threatening E5, trapping him with beastie. It's not very sociable. I have problems with countries and things like that. Sometimes I get into a bit of a tangle with them. So my Instagram, I noticed that the only thing I was getting was either table tennis or adverts for shopping centres in Tashkent. And
weird.
Yeah, and then I realised that what I'd probably done was set my Instagram country to Uzbekistan instead of the United Kingdom. Easy mistake to make, right? Old people shouldn't be allowed to have phones or go on Instagram.
Well, you didn't create a profile when you were in Tashkent for some chess thing.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I'm going to have to grovel.
He's handled this very well. Kudos to him. He's,
Yeah, no, I think White's playing this in a very interesting way.
But it's weird because he played bishop takes f6 in the opening, which seems horrific, right, in some ways to give you the bishop. But then, yeah, he's handled it pretty well after that.
Yeah, no, it looks quite interesting the way that it's been played by White.
Black has got the two bishops, so
the only good thing about my position is that I seem to have at least ruled out the h4 h5 mating attack. That's at least
that's true. Yeah,
that's off the agenda. But instead, I'm getting attacked from another direction. How am I doing time-wise? Oh, I've got lots of time. Gosh, that's very unusual.
You're ahead. You're well ahead.
My son would never believe me if he saw this. He would assume there's a malfunction with the clock. Woo!
E6.
That's extremely violent. Wow.
Very direct.
Wow. Go on. I think it's time. I think it's time I did something. Come on.
Ooh.
I think it's time.
It's not exactly a sacrifice, is it? Because
it's time I played a chess move in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, now I think the tables are turning for in Black's favour for sure.
Now it feels like my boys are in the game suddenly.
There's a lot of scope for that bishop on g7, right?
Yeah.
And there are a lot of cheap and nasty threats, which is, what I like.
Oh,
actually, can we play queen takes knight?
Interesting.
Queen takes knight is definitely a punt.
Queen takes knight and then bishop b2, isn't there?
Yeah.
But who knows?
Okay. I think it actually transposes bizarrely. Let's do it just for fun, just because he's short of time.
I think you should just whip your queen off.
Without hesitation.
Without hesitation, yeah.
Or deviation.
Yeah.
So what's Malcolm seen here?
No, I think I've got nothing better to do than...
This could be a draw. Okay.
I think Black's got quite a pleasant ending now.
Yeah.
Got the material back, and we'll have some.
Yep. Yeah, I seem to be attacking lots of his pawns. Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
Oh, it's my auntie from Johannesburg. Hold on. Okay. I'll have to. I'll call her back. Wait a minute. Sorry, won't be a second. Well, she won't understand, actually. She's 85. Right.
Okay, so now you're short and you're disqualified, says Southern Chris.
Yeah, no, I didn't answer it. Oh no, my phone went off. Yeah. Oh yeah. My phone went off.
Let's force to resign, is he?
Oh, hackery. More hackery. Right, what I'll do is I'll just throw that in because I can. And then what I'll do,
take something.
I'll take the H pawn so that when he
You've got a
checks me
pleasant
again,
choice of three. You've got 3 pawns there to take, right? So you've got a pleasant choice.
You got
I
a
know.
choice. Yeah.
But I don't want to allow knight h7 to g5 to h7 to g5. I want to have an option. So I'll whip that one off. So that when he checks me, I can go king f7, knight g5, king f6. Knight g5, king g7. And knight e4, king g7.
Your opponent has only 10 seconds to finish the game.
Ah. Oops. It's time to start eating.
Blue Grey Haze is asking you about any announcements about the Olympiad in Chennai.
Yeah, we know when it is.
When is it?
It's June. From memory, the starting date is the 29th.
Okay.
Can I suspend myself, by the way, because I don't want to get challenged? How do you suspend yourself?
Is there a pause or anything? Or I think there's a next game button. If you don't click it, don't click it.
Okay, fine, good, okay.
Cheers, guys.
That was traumatic enough.
I'll let you carry on, but no.
You off, mate.
Yeah,
thank you so much for commentating. Really nice to see you.
Yeah, great to be. Thanks for including me. I had a great time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye. Okay.
Right. So who are we looking at now?
Just on Mikhail Golubov against Navigator.
Right. So I was in touch with Mikhail a couple of days ago.
Nice.
Because we're trying to. I just wanted to tell him that there are lots of English players who've offered their houses to Ukrainians, and so it would be lovely to pair them up with chess players.
Yeah, brilliant.
So I've asked him to let us know if there are any that require help.
Wonderful. Well, I hope we can get a good response there. That would be really wonderful. Right, Navigator is David Okiki.
It's David Okiki. Now, David Okiki is a fantastic blitz player. He is so fast. I've played him many times and had lots of problems with him.
Yes. He's up on the clock, I must say. Yeah.
I mean, he's quite a strong player as well, about 200 or something.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's just that combined with it being really super quick makes him a very hard opponent. Natasha, the issue I always have with these commentaries is that I can never, because the size of the font means I can't read the player names, unfortunately, on the screen.
No, that's true. I'll read them out for you.
Thank you. So is David white or black?
Is white and Okiki's black.
Right. Rook a6 is a clever move. Trying to remove white's pride and joy on e6. Oh! Well, that's spectacular if it works.
Wait. So what's happening now? If we take...
If you take, he's going to double on the 7th.
Oh, double the rooks.
I think you have to take and then just go bishop f8 or something.
Yeah.
Or bishop h8.
Wow.
Now that's fun. Oh,
bishop already.
That's a clever move as well.
Declines the sacrifice.
I suppose white just plows on with h5 then. It's the only consistent way to play.
Tom Randall's suggesting if we took the bishop, then white would play e7.
Really?
I think that was the suggestion.
Oh, but then d5 stopping queen e6, maybe rook d8. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see whether he goes e7 now.
We will see.
Yeah. Oh. Doing it immediately. He's got to watch it. Pawn takes pawn and queen g4. Threatens mate. That's also
threatens mate on h7.
That also looks pretty serious. Right, g7, and that's that, isn't it? Takes.
Oh, there's loads of queens.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be all over in 2 minutes.
Mate.
Yeah.
Nice work, Mikhail Golubov.
Well, he is a grandmaster after all.
The grandmaster. Okay, right. Who do you want to see, Malcolm? There's
Okay, well, I'd really like to see young Atomrod if he's around.
Atomrod. Let's see Atomrod. He is around. He's been going the whole time, I think.
He's threatening to.
Flying puffins at the moment. Let's see who.
And guess what? He's winning an endgame.
Always.
I'm shocked, I tell you. Shocked.
I tell you what, there's been so many, not just Keith, but there's been so many rook and pawn endings this tournament. I mean, not just Keith, but mainly Keith.
Right.
Yeah.
Keith is black, I presume.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. He's trying to organise mate.
And he's 2 minutes up on the clock.
And he's going to put his king on G.
So fast.
He's going to put his king on G5 and go rook G2, mate, would be my assumption. Oh. Okay. That wins as well. Pin. That's resigns. You just go B3 now.
Oh, yeah.
Bishop gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bye-bye, bishop.
4 seconds left as well. Yeah, we were just saying earlier, what a wonderful tournament this is for people to get a chance to play Grandmasters, especially right. Yeah, because like when we logged on in the morning, it must have been about like 6 a.m. Me and Matthew were doing a commentary, and really everybody, like all the hardcore titled players were there, and so anyone who wanted to play a Grandmasters, easy chance.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was really nice.
Isn't that one of the joys of chess generally, though? I've always thought.
Yeah.
You've absolutely no chance of playing someone in the top world 100 in tennis or 500 in tennis if you're a club tennis player.
Yeah.
The opportunity just doesn't arise, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But in chess, it arises all the time.
Lance Master against Viktor Sklarov. And Lance Master's been in the chat before, and I think he's playing maybe not quite all 24 hours, but very close to it.
Well, thank you, Lance Master, whoever you are.
Yeah. And
well, we clearly have the debris of a London system here.
Okay.
I would put at least half of my mortgage on the fact that White have played the London system.
Yeah. Well, it's saying Indian game, East Indian London system.
There we go.
You're absolutely right.
So, knight takes... What was the last move? Knight takes d5, probably? Or knight d5?
Rook takes a4 by black.
Oh, rook takes a4, okay. So black is going to suffer a bit because b4 is going to happen at some point White's going to suffer. But hang on, White's also the exchange down. So he's completely lost. And
well, he's 600 points lower, 500 points lower rated.
Fair enough then. So when you've got two rooks against one rook in these kinds of positions, you want to swap one rook.
A rook.
Because then your opponent no longer has a rook. I know that sounds a bit odd, but that's how it works. You one versus none is better than two versus one somehow in chess in these kinds of structures.
Yeah.
Which is why White correctly played knight b3 to stop the swap. Now, if he goes c4, his b2 pawn will fall. If he doesn't go c4, his b2 pawn will fall. So White's playing it rather well. I think we can call this one.
Yeah.
I think this one's all over. Yep, knight b6. And now
I was just thinking, you do want to swap rooks, don't you? 2 against 1, but bishops you don't. Because I guess the bishops cover the opposite colour squares as each other. So you want kind of different things that your other pieces can't do.
Yeah. Sometimes. That's a hard one to judge, I find.
I suppose there's no general rules. That's the beauty of chess.
Yeah. Oh, White's doing his best, but he's going to lose his b2 pawn. Come what may. And then that b2 pawn will advance, and that will be the end of the game.
Oh, yes, this looks bad.
As sometimes happens in the London system, the bishop doesn't get involved. If White isn't careful, sometimes the bishop just doesn't get involved. But when it does get involved, it's a very strong piece, often enough.
Sack all the pieces to win. Let's see that. Just because I like the username.
So white's a pawn up, opposite bishops. Well, it seems to me that
another fast A pawn.
Oh, rook d8, mate. Careful.
Ooh.
Attention. Well played, sir. Just in time. Yep. I mean, this is it. This is going to be Harry the H pawn against Arthur the A pawn.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about King H1. Oh, I suppose it was.
So it's Chris Baker playing black here.
Right. Well, A5 looks like a move now. Let's get on with it. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, that's all right. We'll take that. There's no threat. In fact, that makes life worse for white because he doesn't have anything guarding the queenie square on A1. So that wasn't a good move at all. And worse than that, he's putting his king on H1. He should have put it on a black square on H2 so that the pawn doesn't queen with check.
Oh, yeah.
So these are all handy little hints when you're having a scenario, when you've got a race scenario like this. Oh, that's a good move. Now, A4 is queen, but bishop C3. Actually, now the queen will come to B1. This is going to be very nasty.
Oh, yes.
No, you had to go king G1. Queen B1, king F1.
Now, right. Yeah.
Now queen B1 is forcing the pawn home, I believe. Because if bishop C3 after queen B1, he missed it. Either he missed it or I missed something.
Queen B1 does.
Just seems to win to me. And after bishop C3, you either queen or, gosh, Chris, come on. What are you I've completely messed it up.
No dissent from the chat.
Gosh, I wonder if white's even better now. Bishop on G7. Okay, now what would be? Ooh, that's unjustifiable. When the another pawn could have gone to E5 and E7. Well, I suppose E5 would be met by E5 to E6. Or, I don't know. Bishop guards that queening square. It's very risky opening up the king like that. Yeah, that's asking him. Do you want to lose your A pawn or allow H7?
This is going to run out of time as well.
Yeah, this is good. This is good play by white. Yeah. By black. Oh, white. Well, there we go. So was that a win for the underdog?
Yes. No, 21. They're similar. Very similar ratings.
Right. Well, Chris is an IM though, yeah.
Yes, but Chris is an IM. Yeah.
Well done, white.
Okay. Let us see. Oh, okay. So we could let's see Victor Sklarov against Tim Wall.
Tim Wall's playing. Okay.
He is. He's playing black in this game. French defense.
Okay. Okay. The advanced variation is being met in a normal sort of way. Queen B6 is normally what's played now, or knight H6. Oh, there we have it. Now that move threatens B4, gaining space on the queen side. And you can either allow it or stop it.
What will Tim do?
Takes, queen b6, b4, knight f5 is one way to play. Or F6. Violence. Okay, that's pretty risky because playing f6 when bishop takes h6 is legal.
Oh, yes.
Always just a little bit risky. So white probably should just open up this game now and just take on f6, get his king castled. And black could get into trouble. Okay, that's another way of doing it. And now e takes f6, he must play. Positionally, he must play that. Don't let black play f takes e5 and open lines for his bishops and things. You want to keep this e5 square empty for a white piece.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Don't like that. Fe now, as fast as possible. And not what you don't worry about knight takes e5 and all the rest of it. So, for example, if f takes e5, knight takes e5, threatening queen h5 check, you would have taken that and gone queen g5. Okay, this is also fine. I mean, it's not too bad. Not too bad, but white must take on f6. He mustn't allow e5. He mustn't end up with a weak pawn on e5. He must play e takes f6 at some point. Okay, whip it off. Come on, whip it off. This is good for black now. I have more pawns in the centre.
You know, the white player is rated 2603.
Well, I don't agree with him.
Yeah.
Don't agree
Oh, I
with him.
suppose we've got a queen h5.
Yeah, but knight f7.
Even so. Yeah.
But, right. I mean, I don't know. I'm really worried about maybe f4 now. Maybe f4. But I mean, Black's bishop will come to c6 maybe on d7 to c6, and he'll have two nice bishops.
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just feels very comfortable for Black. There's also queen b6 targeting f2. There's also pawn to c4. Actually, might not be too ridiculous because it's so hard for a white knight to get to d4.
Yeah.
Feels very comfortable for Black, this position.
White's going to try what, gang up on this h7 pawn, do you think? Or queen?
You can try.
Queen out.
You can try.
But yeah, as you say, this knight still hasn't got out yet.
No,
Oh, he's going queen c2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if he takes it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
King h8.
Then what, queen g6? No, knight out, just knight out.
Well,
Nice
you could go queen h4, and if knight f3, rook takes.
Yeah.
And after g3, maybe just back to f6. And then the knight couldn't come to f3. But queen c7's clever. It wins a pawn.
This is a fork.
Well, mind you, knight f3, then you take it, surely. And then you win two pieces for a rook. So bishop will have to make an abject retreat. And then
bishop h2 is possible.
Black will win a pawn, mess up white kingside. Just feels good for Black. Now, do we go full megalomaniac with e5, losing the bishop? No, we don't. We'll just retreat it and then go e5.
Nice and sensible.
Yeah. So now the threat is e5 to e4, amongst other things. And I'm sorry, but whatever White's rating is, I don't agree with how he's played it.
You never know. He might have been up all night.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He might very well have been up all night. Now maybe the easiest thing to do is just to take on d2 and go queen g7, but it's keeping the two bishops and the threats. So Black's only issue is that he hasn't completed his development yet.
Oh yeah, just
liked to have completed it. Yeah, he would have liked to have completed it by now. So White needs to strike. The problem is it's very difficult to strike when you can't move your knight anywhere. So I guess just rook ae1 for the moment would be a start, and then f4, and then knight f3 and knight e5, and White has some play there. Maybe. Who finds the move f4?
Rook e1, he's gone.
Yeah, I would expect him to do that, followed by f4. But e5 would have been my move for Black there, and then if f4, e4. So now f4, come on, you got to play f4. Otherwise, what are you going to do, actually? I mean, what is that? What is White's next move if it's not f4? King g2, maybe? I don't know.
It's queen d1.
We're playing for cheaps. Fair enough. It is the charity challenge. Why not? Yeah. Right. So Black should answer this move of a queen to the king side by getting his queen over there as well at some point. All right, gets the rooks over. It's also good. Maybe pop one on g8 and evict the queen.
Oh, he's going to try...
He's evicting him another way. Okay. That also makes a lot of sense, this.
Yeah, he's going to go for what, king g2 and put the rook on the h file.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm going queen g5, which is a move I've been talking about.
Yeah.
Since about move 8 or something. Yeah. Now queen g5, bishop h5.
f4, your move, finally.
Yeah, finalement. Yeah, but...
Okay. This is...
Rook g8 now. I mean, Black is fully mobilized. But knight f3 is still the game, you know. Oh,
Tim's offered several draws.
Tim is Black, yeah?
Yeah.
He's offered several draws.
Yes. And Victor keeps declining.
Good for him. c4. He's trying to clear the e4 square for a piece. I mean, if I was black now, I'd just be trying to play the ending. Oh, that's mean and nasty. Threatening my e5 move.
Yep. Maybe.
If e5 and e4 happens, that won't be pleasant. There we go. A white piece finally arrives on e5. Hurrah. Right, knight f3. Come on. Come on. This is not difficult chess. No, never.
Okay, now e5. Okay,
Yeah,
so
come on, you don't. It's all about
F5,
the opponent's pieces in the box, you know. Look at this. He's letting him rip through now.
G3 now he's sacking.
Now he's
sacking. Oh,
I would have taken that with the queen. That would have been the end of that. But anyway, would have taken it with the queen. That would be the end of the game. But still, bishop b7 is not.
This is a nasty pin, though.
Not very nice.
Oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, there's probably a variety of ways to skin this particular pussycat. That actually wasn't one of them.
Oh, yes, that's a surprising move. But only 7 seconds for Victor. And Tim still has
running out of time.
Minutes. Yeah, White's running out of time. Tim's got loads of time.
Good, that'll do it. And c4 is going to go down. And White's lost a piece and various other things. So, boom. All right, we'll swap off. We don't mind that. Smooth game by Tim.
Well done, Tim. Okay, let's have a look at let's see Liam Bellwood, because he's been in the chat a few times.
Excellent.
Against Jumush. Jumush is that Julian Shepley? I've got that.
It might be.
I don't know why.
Could we play through this game from the beginning, Natasha?
Julian
Because I can't
Shepley,
figure out what the
yes,
opening.
of course. Let's see it.
Although
So
I could hear that Queen B6 and Queen B3 happened, but apart from that, was it an exchange Slav maybe, or no?
So
a Tarash. Right.
And so Liam Bellwood's white, Julian Shepley's black.
Oh, that's clever play. So White is playing positionally against the isolated pawn, and he's achieved a strategically favourable exchange of dark bishops. You always want to exchange your opponent's dark bishop in these IQP positions on d5, because that's his good one.
Yeah.
Whereas his bishop on c8 struggles a bit, as we've seen by Black's last move.
Yeah, just depending. Okay, and this is where we are.
Where do we want the white rooks? This is so... I always find this such a hard part of chess. Where do I want my rooks? Do I want A1 and C1, or C1 and D1, or... Very hard to know. I think I probably would double on the C file here, actually, if I was White, because you're not going to win the D5 pawn anytime soon. So I probably would have doubled on the C file. Now I think a pawn may fall. There we go.
Ooh. A pawn gone.
Oh, no.
It's a misclick. It's a misclick.
Is there a take back? No, not in this case. Oh, I'm sorry, player with the black pieces. That was a bit grim.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Let us see. Go on, you pick one, Malcolm.
Let me go onto the right web page, because I can't read. That's too small.
Well, we could, in the meantime, let's see Sklarov, because that's the big one.
I always like to watch Richard Bates.
Thank you, Julio. Thank you, Julio, for the raid.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Julio was a superstar last year. I don't know if you remember, Malcolm. He streamed all 24 hours.
Oh, fantastic.
You must have been so tired by the end of it.
I've been exhausted. Who is IM Baza or Voxal playing at the moment?
Let me see.
He's got a fire symbol next to him, I think, and has he won 11 games on a row or something? 43.5 out of 47.
Oh, good grief.
I think we definitely follow this bloke if he's playing.
Right.
I think he is a bloke.
I don't see him actually. Actually, is by his name, is there a chessboard?
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing flying chess at the moment.
Let me find him.
I am
Oh
Basil.
yes, I see it. I see it. Okay,
It's
let's
a rather nice positional game, this. Natasha, can we watch it? Oh, White smoothly positionally winning this with a superior knight
Oh,
against.
this isn't. 1 minute. Can you? Sorry, do you know who he's playing? I just haven't found it.
Kestrel, he was playing.
Ah, okay. Oh, there we are. Yeah, got it. But I missed. I will get there. Sorry.
Wow, you hit some real chaos there, though. Actually, should we stay on this? It's
Yes, why not?
Yay.
What are these knights and queens?
Who's hanging all
What,
these
what on earth? Yeah.
Who's producing this masterpiece?
This is Minenko from Ukraine against John Mill from England.
Oh, well, fantastic play by both. Oh, White seems to have lost 2 bits, though. At least 2 pieces for 4 pawns down. But he'll have a lot of black squares. Trouble is, Black will have a lot of open files.
Yes. White's got stacks of pawns.
I mean, that's one thing. You can always console yourself whenever you blunder a pawn. Usually you get an open file, right? Usually. There you go.
See you next year, Julio.
G5, come on. Yeah, it looks flash, but what does it actually do? There you go. I think a humbling retreat would be in order here. Come on, knight f6. Admit it.
Knight f6. Oh, rook moves. No. And White can presumably castle. I guess
that's castle king side. That would be a decent move. And then maybe play a move like a4. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't want to break up my pawn structure. It's such a beautiful pawn structure.
Mm. He's aiming for the diamond. Tom Rendell had a diamond pawn structure yesterday.
A diamond is one of the nicest things in chess. Yeah. I once was outplayed effortlessly and beautifully by the great Roman Djindjikhashvili.
Okay.
At a rapid tournament in Philadelphia in the 80s, and he managed to get a diamond on f2, e3, f4, and g3. And he stuck. No, it was worse than that. It was e3, d4, e5, and f4. That's right. And then he stuck a white squared bishop in the middle of it. It was like Sauron. It just controlled everything. But his pawns controlled the black squares, and his bishop controlled the white squares. And I just thought, I'm just being completely positionally outplayed by a superior player. I'll just sit back and enjoy the ride. And I was crushed like a rabbit.
Oh dear.
King f7. Okay, well, maybe, I don't know. Let's punt d4. I mean, it's punting time now. We're lost. He's losing the h pawn. The f pawn will go as well. Might as well just go d4 and play on. That looks like a bit of a shot in the dark to me. Why can't he just take on h4? What exactly is the point of that move? I think maybe he thought... okay, sneaky. He wants to play a5 and undermine the knight. But, rook h1 was very strong there. That would have been mate on the back rank. I mean, it'd have forced a retreat or rook e1. Oh, right now, rook h1 is really a strong move. Bang. That's mate. Oh, nice game. No, it's not mate. I'm wrong. Good defense. I didn't see that. But the overall assessment is unchanged, I think. He'll lose the f pawn.
Oh, yeah. Black's ganging up on it.
E2. King e2, and then bishop e6, bishop d5. I mean, black should win. Bishop on d5 will be a huge piece. It'll control the queening square of white's a pawn. Okay. Pawn survives, lives to another day, but you've got bishop g4. Check looks pretty strong. Pretty strong. Or the sneaky rook h2 threatening bishop g4.
Oh, check.
Yeah, no, this is
yeah, because if king c1, you get mated.
Yep. Oh, another knight's coming in as well. There might very well be a mating net here.
Looks pretty scary.
Perhaps you just play the boring rook d1, I don't know.
Boring rook d1 played.
Right, let's get this king on the back rank. Maybe it's not so easy. Or you can just play rook d2 and take on c2.
And take on c2.
And then there's just nothing left to play for, is there really, for white?
Yeah. He's done it.
Yeah, whip that off.
You've only got 30 seconds left.
And White's got 44, yeah?
Yeah.
So the game goes on then in that case.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not so easy to finish these off.
Yeah, it's not easy at all. But if you get the king, so what Black needs to do is get that bishop on the long diagonal, and that will ensure that nothing terrible can happen. And then, so stage one is to probably just take the d pawn, get the king back. Stage two, put the bishop on f3. Stage three, take the f4 pawn, and then
He's going for mate.
Yeah. You can also try and just mate him with rook, bishop, and knight, of course. So rook d2.
Oh, he's done it. He's done it. I didn't see that mating one either, man.
Yeah, no, there you go. Now, rook, bishop, and knight mate, yeah? You see, you put the rook on the second, and then you guard one of the squares with the knight, and that's it. But he did it in one. Very nice.
Okay, I'm putting Julio Calcina's game up because he's the guy that's just finished streaming now.
Okay, and he's white or black?
He's playing black, and Doc Holiday from Germany is playing white.
Okay, on knight d4, nice move.
Oh, and there was an almost diamond there. Was it a knight on d4?
Yeah, there was a knight. Yeah.
Not
okay,
quite,
well, I would probably take with the c pawn here. Probably. Nothing wrong with taking with the e pawn either. Yeah, I think I prefer that. It's sort of potential kingside avalanche. Now, bishop f3 would be a good move here, followed by b4.
Diagonal.
Yeah, no, White's got some counterplay. He might have less space and black might have two bishops, but the dark one's not very clever. Pointing into that pawn it is.
Yeah, so bishop
d8 was definitely a possibility there. Now White should go bishop f3, take on e6, and he's actually not got a bad position at all. I mean, White's bishop will be the superior piece, and he'll be better here. No, I think knight to e4 is very enticing, but what are you going to do after f5 at some moment? You're going to get a kicking.
Is he trying for a knight d6 and a fork?
All that does is improve black's
pawn. It doesn't really work, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't work because the queen's not defended either. So.
Oh, so you could a bit of trickery with queen c7. You mean? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to set him up for knight e6, bishop f3 to d5. Cheeky. Oh, knight takes e6.
It's
come
right.
on.
It's worked. And bishop
it has. Well, we say it's worked. It's not worked until he's shown us he's seen it. But
it's true.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
He can't hear us, can he?
I don't think so.
Oh, good. Okay.
Depends if he's watching the stream.
Bishop f3 is just all over.
Bishop f3 played. Okay.
Right, bishop. No, it's gone. Oh, clever.
Oh, no, look.
Clever. I missed that completely.
But
what was wrong with bishop b7 then and takes on a6?
Yeah.
Oh, I completely missed that. That's nice. Well, I should probably take it because it'll be a very weak pawn. He'll get it to c6, perhaps. h4's hanging as well. Bishop takes h4. Might as well. Can't see the downside.
Yeah, Julio's done it.
Right, next. I don't know. We should try and play for e4 maybe if I was black. So rook on e8 maybe. Try and get the pawn to e3 and the bishop to f2 on a good day. Okay, so black is prepared for this eventuality. He's blockaded the pawn, but now he should get his own boys moving if he can.
You could throw in bishop g5 to try and...
Very strong move, wins the c6 pawn, potentially. I mean, you could also... I just want to play e4 somehow, so... Just rook e8 and then bishop g5.
Yeah.
And e4 would be very good, probably. There's also... Yeah, good move. Threatening e4.
Done it.
There's also the retreat bishop e7 at some moment.
Even more tempting now. The queen's gone to c5.
Yeah, so bishop e7, bishop d5, but it's just a lost rook and pawn ending. There you go, splat.
E4, yeah.
Splat, splat, splat. Okay, I think the only punt now is to take on e4 and play rook e1 and just play the queen against 2 rooks and bishop position. Okay, yeah, but doesn't that allow e3? Oh, okay, too late. Oh, e3 was bishop d5. Okay. Oh, still not so clear.
What's this? Yeah.
This is not so clear. Black is still a pawn up, but e4 goes. White's only. I mean, White's bishop is better than
There's
Black's.
a threat now. There's a threat of bishop h7.
But what about and if rook e8, bishop rook e6, bishop d5? Ooh.
Oh, White won on time. I didn't even notice that was in the position.
Interesting, guys. So many tic tacs in that game. I managed to miss some.
Amazing. Good. That was a random find, that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we find my friend then?
Yes. Tell me again.
His name was Bazar.
Bazar. Yes.
Bazar Woxel.
Okay.
Who just played a lovely positional crush, by the way.
Okay, so Bazar's playing black against Bava, who is playing
white.
We've
got to see the first few moves of this.
Yes, okay. So
how did this possibly come to pass? Is this a Trompovsky where white loses his bishop or something?
No, f4, bishop f4.
It's a London.
Okay.
Woo! Check. Oh, beautiful. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's how to deal with the London system if you're watching. Anyone? Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal. Okay, don't castle. So he's a good player, this Bazar Woxel. He's a great player.
Yes. We do know who it is, I think.
He looks really strong.
Let me tell you. Nikolai Vlasov.
Oh, okay. Vlasov, yeah, he's a very good player. Gosh. No, I mean, white's just completely, it's gone. Yeah. That's a punt. Knight d6 is on. Castles is still not possible because of knight e7 check and queen takes h7.
Oh, yes, yes, nice.
Would be unfortunate.
That could happen. Well, it won't happen because that's
queen c7 happening. Yeah. So I don't know. Queen g3 might be the best chance here, but it's lost. It's a lost position. Don't think white's got any moves really that make any sense. King e2. Okay.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, I suppose if you haven't got any moves that make any sense, play a move that doesn't have any sense. Why not? Queen e5 would be a bit bolshy now. Oh, he's just going to take the knight on f5, which is hanging. So he's happy to give up a piece for that.
Yeah.
And exchange the queens if necessary. I think white should probably resign, actually.
Yeah. Okay. We will assume Bazar.
Let's move on. We don't need to see the death throes of this one.
Yeah. Okay. Let us see.
I haven't seen any of Atomrod, actually.
Oh, haven't you? Oh, well, we better do that.
Anyway, we saw it one game, but it was
only fair because he is winning the tournament.
Yeah. As I thought he would, as I never doubted.
There we go. Atomrod.
Oh, and it's a rook ending. Who is he playing?
Of course it is. Flying Chess Kestrel. Let me just see. Maybe we did know who that was. I've now forgotten.
Who's white and who's black?
I don't know. Sorry, Keith's white.
Well, Flying Kestrel's putting up a great fight.
Yeah.
To get a rook ending against Keith. Okay. Maybe Keith's going to try and go e4 to e5. Yeah, he's trying to go f5. Don't fall for that, Kestrel. King f7, come on.
King f7.
Yeah, well done. Now, Keith's got a choice here. Yeah, okay. So you could go rook g2 just to annoy him. Or rook e2, maybe? Or just keep the checking distance. Yeah, good play, Kestrel. Just keep the checking distance. Excellent chess. That's all right. Check to the king.
Check.
Rook b5, king d6,
Yep.
rook d5, check. That's all right. Back. Or check again. Oh, no, check he allows. No, check again is also fine. Or back. Absolutely. Just ask him how he intends to make progress. Well done, Kestrel.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, there we are. He forced him into plan B. Right. Ooh, am I sure about that? Yeah, careful.
Okay.
Rook takes g4, rook takes a2, and then white's got a definite initiative there, threatening rook a7. No, this is Keith. So how Keith gets you in the end, you see. Rook a7's coming
Yeah,
next.
you think you're holding on all the way, don't you? And
Yeah, you are, but yeah, not mate. Yeah, so okay.
Oh, thank you for the raid, Master Chess Dojo.
Okay, now if king, now probably just rook h7 exactly, and that looks like Mr. Zuggy. Rook e7. Yep. Any move loses a pawn. Masterful play by the Grandmasterful. Rook e7. Yeah, such good play. Yeah, that was that. They got him in Zugzwang in rook and 2v rook and 2. Beautiful. But the question is,
He
can he take
always
the
does
pawn?
it.
I presume he can because
No, the pawn's not queening, is it?
Well, it'll queen, but we're hitting f7 with check is the point.
Yes.
Yep. There you go.
Queen. Oh, queen, and then we check, and
Yep.
then we queen.
Yeah. Otherwise, if we didn't go king e7, he'd have gone king f8 and we resign. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
there's a thing in the tail. I think the Kestrel deserves that. I think the Kestrel deserves that. He played really well. Great chess.
Well played, Mr.
Well played,
Kestrel.
sir. Yeah, no, that's brilliant.
Cool.
That's really well done. I thought he was going down, actually, but nice little sting
I
in the
thought
tail.
Keith was doing it then.
Yeah, nice little sting in the tail.
Okay. Fine.
Great stuff.
So let's have a look at Hebs. So white is Labeshlivex and black is Mark Hebden.
Okay. Well, this is very risky stuff from Heb. Maybe he goes queen e7 or something?
Oh, thanks so much, Duke of Bebington. Big congratulations on all your streaming. Amazing job.
Is that Bebington on the Wirral? It's a very nice place if it is.
Oh, I don't know. Duke of Bebington, where are you from? And Hyde Park playoff between 8 worldly scholastic teams.
Well, that's got to go.
Yeah, fantastic fundraising, Duke. Let me just see. I'm just going to look up how much Duke of all my words. I've been on too long today. Yeah, Duke of Bebington has raised a lot of money. I think 935. And if
that's fantastic.
Yeah, really good, amazing.
Duke, if you're still short and you haven't got to the 1,000 by the end, just contact me and I'll do the honors.
That's nice, Malcolm.
I'll do the honours.
Bebington on Wirral, yes. Do you know the area then, Malcolm?
I'm from Liverpool, aren't I?
Yeah, okay. So Duke's been streaming. I raided him at 1 a.m. and he was still going strong.
Wow. Oh, Hebden's being very smooth here. What's next? Maybe we try and take his h6 pawn off him? That would be mean and nasty. Yep, there we go.
He's going for it. He's going to round up that pawn.
Yep. Poor Harry. He's been removed. He doesn't want to be removed.
I'm going to let Kenwell on. She's here, waiting in the background. Here we go. Hi, Kenwell.
Hi, Kenwell.
Hi, Natasha. Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
We're just watching the demise of Harry.
Harry,
the one.
Poor Harry.
He's going to eat it.
It's not what happens in Alpha Zero games.
Yeah.
Well, we could go rook d3 if you wanted to be mean. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yes. Follow Duke of Bebington and follow Master Chess Dojo as well.
Gosh, Hebden at his imperious best. F5, nil 1. There you go. Very smooth. Yeah. Take the open file. Or not bother, just take his H-pawn. Yeah, that's the other way. 0 counterplay for white. So you can take the H6 pawn, come back to G4, and then start the pawns rolling. Or not bother with the H-pawn. Nope. Yeah, king will come to G4, take that. King will come to G4, pawn will come to G5, and yep, it's just all over. It's an avalanche.
Ah, you know Malcolm. Malcolm, do you know who Master Chess Dojo is?
Oh, we've talked about him before. I do know him. Who is he?
He knows you. I don't know, though.
We have been in touch. I can't remember.
Yes. Anyway, he says hi.
Been in touch.
He says he's known you forever.
Apologies. It's my memory is not.
Because I know people either. I know people either by their name, you know, their actual name, or their
handle,
or their handle. I mean, I do know Master Chess Dojo. I just don't know his actual name.
Yeah.
John MacArthur.
Ah, hello, John. Of course, that is forever.
So Thea Rhoda and I came for the Barclays Yes to Chess.
Indeed. And Hebden always winning. The thing about Hebden, when I used to play it on the weekend circuit a little bit, and Hebden was the master of it, it was always how quickly he beat people. Was one of his great strengths.
Yeah.
And he beat them so quickly, he had more energy than everyone else later. There is no stalemate, unfortunately.
No stalemate. It's a lawnmower. Mate in 1.
Well, that feels like a good time to hand over to Camwell.
Okay. Marvellous. Thank you so much. Now,
well, that was fun.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks very much.
I'll go and play one more game before I phone my auntie back in Janice.
Okay, me and Canwell are going to commentate on your game until Peter Wells and John Spillman arrive on the street.
Yeah, I don't want them commentating.
Which is hopefully soon. I'm not going to leave Canwell.
All right, bye for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Malcolm.
Bye.
See you. Okay. So right, Canwell, should we check out Malcolm?
Yes. Should we do a little bit of housekeeping to begin
yes.
with?
Yes, let's get you sharing your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to just unshare mine. And the share button's right at the bottom of the screen, by the way. Mm-hmm. You can hopefully find it. How have you been today?
I've been good. I've been watching the analysis and watching the commentary. It's been a lot of fun.
Okay, this looks good. Yes, it's all working.
All right.
Brilliant.
Okay, so I guess we should do a little bit of a roundup of where we are.
And I'm going to check my emails just in case anyone's having problems with links or anything like that.
Yeah, sure. So Keith in the lead. I think he's going to be quite difficult to catch. But second place.
There's no catching Keith, I'm sure.
I don't think that's mathematically possible. Second place still up for grabs, and I believe that's Chris Baker and Mark Hebden competing for that spot.
Hello, Peter.
Hi, Natasha. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Hi,
Canwell's here too.
Hi, Camwell. Good to see you. Oh, we're not on air yet, are we?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah, we're completely live already.
Excellent. I better wake up then.
Fine. I'm going to head into the background already. Oh, here's John. No, I won't. I'll let him in.
Hello, people.
Hello, John.
Hi. How are we doing?
We're all good. We're live on air.
We're good, and we're live on air, John.
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
That's amazing.
Okay, we're heading into the last hour here, so take it away, you guys. And
first, can I recommend that people look at ChessBase? And my article has just gone up, and there is a superb picture of me with a very, very silly hat on.
That sounds like lots of fun, John.
Well, I've just called my son to tell him.
I think Camille's going to look for it in the background and share her screen and show a silly hat at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do a sound before.
Maybe you can do it.
I'm going to do a what am I going to do? I'm going to do a cheer.
Is that Cornwall
and then
should
an
go
air horn.
like that? In horror.
I've just looked at Keith's score, and when I was last watching, he just hit his 655. That was his sort of target to beat. And I see that he's done that with some style.
So is Keith leading by many much points?
He is leading by many much points, and he's about to lose by the look of it. Is that right?
Really?
What's happening with the game position on the board there? Did Keith resign that position?
Well, I mean, knight b5 and c7 does seem to leave you a piece up, doesn't it?
It does indeed, yeah. It's just...
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, okay, that's probably that.
So what's his longest winning streak? Anybody know?
I don't know. Could be hours.
But do we know if Keith has basically played the entire 24 hours?
Well, look, I've been watching all of it except for 4 hours or 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and he's been on the entire time I've been there, and I think he's done all 24.
Well, he's done about 1,380 minutes, hasn't he? I mean, we've got 60 minutes to go. So 1,380 minutes and 655 points. And what are they playing? 3-0 or something?
5 minutes each.
5 minutes. So he's been winning most of his games in a minute, hasn't he?
Yeah. Not in a minute, no. But he's been winning most of his games. We can see how many he's won.
Well, he's averaging 2 minutes a game, isn't he? If he's got 655 points, assuming he's won almost every one.
I think you can sometimes get more than a point per game, though.
Has he been berserking?
No, but I think if you get a streak, you still get more.
Oh, right.
Maybe it's 2 for a win anyway.
Maybe it's 2 for a win. That sounds more plausible.
Makes more sense.
Because I can't believe he's played 650 games.
No, we can see how many. Wait a minute. I'm going to tell you how many games he's played.
Yeah,
if I look at standings and then hover, he's played 238 games.
Oh, that's more.
He's won 207 of them.
Oh, my God.
Which is jolly good.
I mean, I played 41 yesterday, and I thought I was completely mad. But,
Did you? Were you playing John? I didn't see.
No, I wasn't playing on here. No, I was.
Right, yeah.
I was just playing on Lee Chess, and I
started,
and I thought I'd play half a dozen games, and then, of course, 3 hours and 17 minutes later.
So is that Chris Baker in second place?
Yes,
that is Chris Baker, who has played.
Who's also been no slouch by the look of it.
So he's doing 130 games.
So unfortunately, Keith is not
196 games. Sorry.
Oh wow.
He's not going to be able to lap him, is he? He's not going to be able to get twice his score, really.
No, that's
all right, guys. I'm going to leave you to it. I'll be back at just before 5. Okay.
Thank you, Natasha.
Okay,
Bob. So just a recap of where we are. Keith obviously in the lead, and no one's going to be able to catch him. But we also have another thing to look at, which is obviously this is being put on to raise money for Ukraine, and our next highest score is we're now almost at 15,000 raised for the Red Cross in Ukraine. So we're at 14,858. So let's see if we can push that over 15,000 in this hour. And there are some incentives to donate in this hour. I know it's been going on for a while, but if you haven't donated yet, you can still donate. And we have a prize for the person who donates the highest within the hour. Chessboxing Nation, who organise chessboxing shows in London, are supplying 2 tickets to their show next May. So the person who donates the most gets those tickets. Those tickets are worth £65. So get your donations in if you want them to go and see the show next month.
Sounds good.
It does.
So we can get into some games. Do you have anyone in particular you want to look at?
I think we're in your
well, let's have a quick look at Mark against Thomas Rendell.
Yes, that looks
how's Tom Rendell doing?
He is now playing black against Mark Hebden.
I can see. And
do we know how many points Tom has, or how many games he's played, that kind of thing?
I can probably check that. So Mark Hebden is in third place with 378. Tom Rendell, I think, has chosen to sleep for part of this event.
Good heavens. What a cat and a bounder.
Really not the spirit of the thing at all.
No, and not for someone of Tom's reputation either.
Exactly.
Okay, so he's only on 95 points, and he's only played 33 games. So that maybe he can up that score in this last session.
That's a very interesting moment. Rook G8. Black sort of stops defending and tries to show that he has some.
Yes, I wasn't sure he shouldn't have gone knight c5.
Yes, now Black's counterplay might be getting somewhere. He's winning D or G pawn, isn't he? So
I think he should probably have gone knight c5 if we go back a few moves.
Yeah,
Black is probably better now.
Oh, that's not mate in 1. There's a square on B3, but
there is. But I'd say black is much better now.
Yes.
Whereas
it was interesting when we came. It sort of looked like White had pressure, but you had to remember to count the pawns, and Black was 1 up. But no, I think White needed to keep the sort of position under control, which he's failed to do.
Can you go back a few moves, Campbell, where he played?
Oh, I think that's I think
we can keep watching the live game until it's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though I think it's going to end in one way.
Oh, it's going to end in one way in about 3 seconds, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And White simply
plays King F4 followed by Rook H3.
That pawn.
And unless White is very rude, then White will resign because he is playing. I mean, he may carry on, of course. You never know. It is online.
Well, the thing is, there is no increment, yeah. So this makes the ends of the games a bit more crazy sometimes. But
he's got.
Yeah, he's got 27 seconds and a queen that should be.
And a bishop, if I might say so as well. I understand.
He does have a bishop.
But Mark is also playing for second place, so maybe he wants. I don't know if he wants to end the game quickly so he can play more games in the last hour. But maybe he's just trying to hang on.
It would appear not.
No.
Is he going to play E5 and give his queen up and laugh at him?
Yeah. I feel Tom can do this in 18 seconds. Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think Tom plays enough blitz to be able to.
I think he can do it in 7 or 8 seconds. Yeah, I'm old and slow nowadays.
Still going on.
Afraid.
Ooh,
yes,
hello, that's a good one. That's a good move. Okay.
So if we go back to the position where your man played rook takes c6.
How far back do you want to
go? A bit further.
Yeah.
I want to play. No, I want to play knight c5 in that position.
Yeah.
In this position.
This position, I want to play knight c5.
Yeah, that stops g5, doesn't it? Because of checks on d7, e5, and f7 if black is silly enough. So.
Well, the thing is, if g5, pawn takes pawn, rook takes pawn, knight d7.
Knight d7 check, and the rook is.
Well, you don't actually win the rook, but you do play knight d7 check, king g6, knight e5 check.
Exactly.
It has to go back to f6. Then you play rook takes c6.
Yeah.
And you're sort of threatening mate in 2 moves. Rook 2, almost threatening mate in 2 moves. Yeah. Rook up and the rook f7. So you are going to end up with the advantage.
Yeah.
The strongest possible terms.
So black what should black do here? Actually play. Hard to see.
I don't know. King e7 maybe.
Yeah,
but black is much worse at this point.
This is obviously the move to keep control. Yeah,
yes, exactly.
I think sometimes it's quite when you're sort of hitting something and you expect your opponent to defend it and then they don't.
Yeah, but you play
a timeout not to then take it. Sort of.
No, but you should play rook b3 in this position.
Yeah, that's also
what causes quite a big accident.
Yeah. No, indeed. Yeah, that's a big moment for sure.
He can try king d6 now, and which is annoying actually because it threatens. Play e5 check.
But there's king takes f5, John.
What?
After e5 check, there's king takes f5.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You are correct. I'm being very stupid. I've been blundering all.
So this looks quite unpleasant for black too. I mean,
well, e5 check, king takes bishop is going to be checkmate very soon, isn't it? Because you're going to go.
Yeah.
Pawn takes pawn. Actually, there's going to be an e5 punct. It's not quite clear. Check.
But you are a knight up.
Yeah.
It's clearly not what black wants, though. That's
no.
Oh, Chessboxing Nation, thank you for your donation.
Okay, so we take a look around, see what else is going on.
Indeed.
And we don't want Chessboxing Nation to win the Chessboxing ticket, so please, donate something higher than Chessboxing Nation.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what else is happening. Games.
So.
And thank you, Chess Boxing Nation, for offering those tickets. That's very generous of you.
That's great.
The event in May, at the end of May. Let's see some Ukrainian players.
Mikhail Golubev, how many games has he played? A lot of games.
Well, let's see his game now.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It looks as though White is a bit unwell at this point, doesn't it?
I imagine White's very unwell.
So whose move is it? I mean, that's a question.
Mikhail Golubev has played 67 games.
Black's move.
It's Black's move, yeah. So he can.
Well, that's presumably taking on G3 is winning, and taking on E2 is a very simple way to win, followed by rudely playing Rook H5 in a minute.
To be honest, taking on D5 probably isn't bad either, is it?
Probably not, actually.
Taking anywhere is good, but this looks.
But this is much more entertaining.
This is the much more entertaining way to do it. Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, I don't find any of it very entertaining on this.
That's not the spirit, Jonathan. It's cool.
No, but you know, for it to be entertaining, there ought to be some sort of Bishop G3 in play. There ought to be some sort of vague chance of a contest.
Well, we're training the game a little bit
This
late.
does look rather like the contest is over.
Well, there does seem to be mating about 4 moves. And the problem is if Rook F2, you can go Bishop takes pawn and Rook G1 mate.
Yeah.
Is the problem, because otherwise Rook F2 would at least cause a little bit of amusement.
Yep.
Also the fact that there's no defense against along the second rank is a bit unfortunate here.
Yeah. No, there is Rook F2, so Bishop H2 and.
No, it isn't mate.
Bishop G1 will be mating with. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Of course it will. Sorry, I'm having a hallucination. I was trying to play King F1, which is not even legal, as it happens, as you could have told me probably. Well, I imagine you could actually. Yeah.
What have we got next?
Right. Well,
there's Keith again.
What's Keith up to?
Yeah.
Let's see our leader.
So how many bots are playing?
There have been quite a few. So these are the people currently playing, but obviously it's been a 24-hour marathon, so we've had different players playing at different times.
It seems like Keith is just an exchange down for nothing now. Do you think there comes a time when tiredness gets the better of a person?
I'm actually going to.
I was thinking Keith would never ever play E3 rather than F3.
I'm actually going to switch the game because I think David Sedgwick is playing.
Well, there we are.
And he has offered to donate for every time we cover his game. So we should watch his game. And he's actually playing Dashman93, who is part of Chess Boxing Nation. So he's also contributing to this event in that way.
Bishop A3.
There's Bishop A3 to make things slightly more complicated, but.
Yes. Well, it will, won't it, in these circumstances?
Well, it will a bit, yeah. Oh, that won't.
That will not make anything very complicated because you can take and then
you can take and check when you get forked.
You can rudely give check. Indeed, yes.
That is very rude and very strong.
To rudely and decisively check.
Okay.
I do like to split properly when I'm going to.
A reduction in the number of rooks, that should work nicely.
Will work nicely.
Yeah.
Yes. I rather think the resignation would be the best thing one could do at this point. I think I'd play F3 just to laugh at him, probably.
Splendidly unkind, Jonathan.
Well, I try to be unkind when I play chess. Well, no, I don't. I try to win. I don't want to be unkind to my opponent at all, or not normally. I've managed to split the idea of myself from winning from the idea of my opponent losing.
Yes.
In an act of wizardry. Check is a good move. Driving the king back into the sea.
Yes. I think those pawns are going to queen, aren't they, Cameron?
Looks like it, but two connected house pawns look quite strong.
Yes.
They look quite terminal to me.
But let's allow David his moment of glory because he has been playing a lot of games at this event and he has
Absolutely.
Been. Yeah.
Really, has he?
That's
That's very good of him.
A6.
A6.
Splendid, excellent, good stuff.
Well done.
Well played, David.
Right, let's have a look at what's happened to Keith.
Okay,
Go back to
let's
Keith,
see.
because
Go back
Keith
to
was bishop and F3.
Oh.
He's going to draw this at least.
Keith's been swindling away.
Actually, he's completely
Still
lost.
has some energy left.
Just take
Yes.
it.
And he's also well ahead on the clock.
Of course, he's well ahead of the clock. 58, I suppose, or not? Bishop's there. I think he'll.
Will he try to flag his opponent?
I mean, I'm not even sure he's lost at this point. I suppose he is, isn't he? Well, probably lost, isn't he?
I would have thought so. Yeah, it must be, but it's not trivial, is it?
Well, actually, I'm not sure, because even with the, if you took off the H pawn and white played H5, it would be a draw, wouldn't it? Theoretically speaking.
Ah,
Is that not true?
that's probably true, and Keith probably knows that's true.
I think he probably does, because I think I may have chatted to him about it recently.
Oh, that looks a tad drawish now, I have to say. Okay. And a draw.
Yeah, we had to play Rook H5 to make a draw.
So well
Because he was
done,
losing on
GM
turns.
Norfolk, who I think is Andrew Brett, perhaps.
You think he's what, sorry?
I think he's Andrew Brett.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, I think I saw.
Okay, let's see.
But that was also polite of Keith to take the Rook, actually. It would have been a bit rude not to take the Rook, I think.
Yeah, I think.
But, you know, I mean, on Lee chess, they wouldn't have. I can tell you that. Or they probably wouldn't have.
Oh, so thank you, Natasha, for the donation. Tickets are currently with you.
Right, so what do we think about this position? If we were playing this as a proper game, do we think White's, the C6 pawn is a bit weak, but everything else is quite good for Black, isn't it? Would you play Rook to E8 to E6, Pete, or do you think that then White would try to get in Bishop D6 and win that way?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see whether. Might I be tempted to play Knight D7 to F8 to put E6 for the knight instead of the rook?
That's probably a good idea, actually, yes. I'm not sure about D4.
I think I was sort of slightly trying to force D4, but now it's here. I'm not sure why I was trying to force it.
No, because I don't like E4 very much. But
no, I wanted that square for the knight, but it's a tricky decision at speed, I think.
Oh, it's a very tricky decision. That's a good move.
That allows some H4, surely.
Oh, that allows an H4 trick. Yes, that's a nuisance. Okay, so take, and probably G4 there.
Maybe, although he doesn't. There's no F5 threat yet, so it's not necessary. But it feels sort of aesthetically pleasing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe certainly take, and maybe start poddling your king over. A little bit of poddling might be in order at this point. I think if you just play G3 and then start to move the king.
So are you poddling with a view to playing C4 eventually?
No, I don't want to play G4. I wanted to play.
No, C4. I said C4.
No, I wanted to play King B6.
Ah, you just want to go all the way up. Yeah, that makes sense. Now he can go Knight F6 again, and it feels a bit more harmonious than it did.
I think that might be fine now, actually.
Yeah, now he has the E4. What I didn't like about Black's move E4 is that it took away the square from the knight. But if White plays
I mean, Black
F3, then you win the square back again.
F5 now.
Yeah, now it feels like if anyone's better, it's Black.
No,
now
Black
he is going for your Rook E6 idea.
Well, he's better, isn't he?
Yeah, he's better, but...
Okay, Rook E6, followed by... Okay, take it, I think. Probably need to take it, or do we... is that a good idea? Bishop D6.
Bishop D6.
Oh, Knight B5. Knight F4.
Knight takes D4. That was nicely worked. Okay.
The horsey runs around.
It does.
Oh, is that Mark? That's Mark's horsey, right?
That's Mark's horsey.
Yes.
But,
They're good pieces in Blitz, aren't they, horses, really?
Yeah, but if it's Mark's horsey, then Mark's horsey is going to run around very happily.
That sounds like a general rule, a general law of chess, Jonathan.
The Mark's horses are good pieces.
Mark's horses will run around nicely.
Yes. But actually, what I was thinking about, Black would have been able to play Rook F8 and F5 if I.
Oh, Richard Bates. Okay.
Well, let's see Richard's game.
So how many games have been played in total in this tournament? Do you have the statistic to hand?
Not to hand.
Well,
you can try and do it in the background.
Doesn't matter. I just wondered. It seems interesting sort of statistic. So can black somehow get to be a pawn up? That's about what you're. That's about a reasonable. But maybe you should go d3 and then d4, and try to end up. But I think I'm not going to be better at the end of that. I might be worse actually.
As black, I think you might be worse.
Yes, but I think I may be worse anyway.
I wondered if you may be worse anyway. Yeah, it may just be that this rook on b8 is so excruciatingly passive that.
I think I have to go rook e4, don't I? Really. So that if f3 rook e3, I can go and attack the c5.
Oh, then you can come back to the c. Yeah, that's a good idea. Rook e4.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is. Okay.
Well, probably, perhaps. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a very good idea at all. Actually, I think it might be a bad idea. Unless
not sure what's a good idea. F3 or
f3. Yeah, f3. Yeah. I think might be.
Yeah, rook e3 looks much more pleasant for black than it was a moment ago.
Yeah.
Although maybe rook e4 is just a strong move. I don't see how else white's easily making progress.
Well, nor did I, but I wasn't sure it had to be easy.
But I feel not f3. Yeah, this is.
Well, now after rook c3, perhaps you can go rook a4 and rook a8 and get to an ending.
That.
Well, it won't be a bad ending. I think it'll probably be a drawn ending with. Actually, you might get 4v4 and might attack the d5 pawn at some point.
Now there's a chance for rook c1 check and rook c2 and a bit of counterplay. Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, which he's just
snuffed out. Yeah. But now black probably h5 or g6 something. h5 I quite like. Stop him getting space and to ask him to tell him it's his move. Always good idea to let.
Kenwell, do you know who this is playing black?
I don't know. So Lancemaster 23 from South Africa. No, it's not South Africa.
I can't
it
say
is from South Africa.
Okay.
From South Africa. So
how much is he rated?
2043 on chess.com.
But as far as I recall, he was quite high up in the.
That I don't like it.
In the rankings an hour or so ago, he may well still be. I think he's played a lot of games and he's done quite well.
Well, yeah, he's currently in fifth. Has played 135 games.
Not bad at all. 120.
135.
135. Okay.
Yeah, same as Mark Hebden.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Now, can you? You can't. C5. I'm not sure King F2, but I mean this is difficult, of course. In practice, this is going to be messed up most.
I think this is quite a hard position, even in slow chess.
I think it's a hard position, especially in slow chess. Actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, the problem now is that rook to c8 to c7 isn't such a problem.
Was rook b8 worth considering to try to play rook a7 at the right moment, or is I don't know.
Rook b8, rook takes c5, rook a7.
Rook c2 anyway.
Rook c2, and you end up. Oh no, do you?
But it might have been better to, instead of rook takes c5, you could go king g6 to come off the pin and then play rook c2, and maybe black's attack is just stronger than white's in that position. Oh, is there some takes and d4 and king d5 now? Is that possible?
I would certainly be screaming to play that myself.
Just to get the
Yes, indeed.
There we go.
Now, if rook c8, king d5, rook a8, king c5, rook c8, king takes pawn, rook c7, king d6, and laughs.
That's an important point. Yeah. Yeah, trying to use that pawn as a hook for the rook is a very good idea in principle. But
so let's slow that down and go through that a little bit more slowly. What are you pointing at?
Yeah, he's pointing out that if you try to use the b pawn to create a hook on c7, so you can put the rook there, trying to. Well, obviously black can't exchange that, but black can go back. He can take. He has time to take the c pawn and come back to d6 with the king, and thereby defending the rook and therefore holding everything together.
It's not entirely clear because you go rook c8 at the end, and it's still hard to untangle. But this is what you do anyway.
Yeah.
I was pointing out that this is a variation you have to take.
I think it's a very important variation. It's worth.
It is, yeah. Yes, I was trying to
spelling it out. Yeah, now king d6. This is what he has to, and now he has to go.
This is what I was just saying. Rook c8, and now
he can play c5 then. Yeah.
But then he still doesn't have a way to untangle on an obvious one.
Okay.
And if king d7, you mustn't go to c7 because of king d8 and laughs.
Hello. That feels a bit like a.
Well,
that feels like a mouse slip,
isn't it? It is a mouse slip. Our first mouse slip of the evening.
Well, yes.
Joy.
Can people be doing? People aren't doing pre-moves or anything, are they? I mean, that obviously wasn't anyway, but
I think they can.
They can. So we might get pre-moves as well as mouse slips sometimes.
Yes, I saw a glorious bullet game, but I gather it's theory recently, which went e4 c6, knight c3, d5, knight f3, pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, knight f6.
Yeah.
Queen e2, knight takes knight, queen takes knight, knight d7, queen h7, knight f6, queen takes rook.
So someone in the chat has asked how Keith Arkle's game is going. So
Was that not beautiful, Peter? Probably. I don't know if the audience caught that.
That's outrageous, but yes.
But apparently, I mean, people like Jonathan Payne said, "Oh, that's theory."
Okay.
Makes me feel slightly.
This is looking pretty good for Keith, yes?
Keith's black, I assume.
Just before we continue with that, we've just crossed £15,000 raised. So well done, and thank you to everyone who's donated. But there's still half an hour to go, so there's still room to push that number up.
Oh, is he a pawn up as well? I hadn't realised.
Yeah, he's a pawn up with better structure as well. So
as well,
he will be very happy indeed.
Of course, he'll be very happy. But h4 gets played. I'm not sure that was. Now, can you?
Oh.
A rook h4. That's not going to work, is it? That is really asking for trouble. Almost mate.
He's now lost his rook, which is an inconvenience.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Okay.
And it's not going to be stalemated. Nearly stalemate, it has to be said.
So Lance Leslie Smith, thank you for playing the game. He says it was a tough end game, and he thinks he may have given up in the end. But yeah, well played. That was a good game, and you followed John Spielman's advice to the letter in the end game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yes, but it's not quite clear what sort of letter.
There we go. That's the end of that.
Dear John.
Shall we take a look at the list of games again, Cam? We'll see what we've got.
Yes. Anyone want to have their game covered? Message in the chat, and we'll see what we can do.
Indeed. So Keith is somewhere around sort of 710 now, is he, or so?
Yeah, Keith is safely in first place.
So how does it work, the scoring? Do we know? Has anybody... Maybe somebody playing can message us and tell us how the scoring system works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a French, probably, isn't it? I would think.
So we have
that's interesting.
Ukrainian player Victor Sklirov and DJW60. Do you know who DJW60 is?
I don't. But you can possibly click and find out. I don't know.
How do you feel about Queen A3? Oh, yeah, that's probably a better move. But I thought maybe Queen A3 just to fight for the dark squares. I know it's a bit disgusting, but I thought...
I think, I'd be quite surprised if somebody who had reached this position didn't feel sort of the urge to do it in a middle game way. But
the thing is, black is...
No, objectively, you may be right. It's a very difficult decision to make, a difficult thing to think.
Because I suppose white isn't going to give mate. Black has enough space around the king. Actually, black's better now, isn't he? You should play rook takes rook and make
but if he's...
Probably should go rook takes rook and make a draw.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Because otherwise, black's going to go rook c2 and f4 and start thinking...
I'm sure white's defending and should exchange rooks.
After which they should agree a draw. Though probably they won't. I would play rook takes rook there, but then I'm old and sensible.
There you are. No.
Now, king f6 first. King g6 or king g6.
Well, can white try? If white tries to put the bishop on f6 and then mate with the rook, black always has f4 and king f5. I think.
Actually, it's not that close.
Kind of important to give the king an escape route.
Yeah, if king, I'm not sure that's a very good move. I suppose it may be okay if it slows things down. Excuse me, is that there? That's there, right. I wasn't sure you didn't want to put the bishop on f4 anyway, but I suppose he's going to bishop g5.
Yeah, okay, now he's going to go. Oh, okay.
Oh well, now it's getting very bad. If you go bishop f6, f4, then black is going to mate white before white queens anything.
Yeah,
pretty clearly, I think. Bishop f6, f4. Better go rook a8, hadn't you? Otherwise, f3 is going to cause a major incident.
Okay.
But bishop f4 isn't that clear. Maybe you can go bishop f4, rook e4, g3.
It's just that bishop g5 doesn't feel like a very good declaration of intent to go bishop f4, does it?
It doesn't. Well, it feels like somebody who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, actually.
It's charming, Jonathan.
Charming. Oh, well done.
Oh, he has. He's gone there. Now rook e4 is a problem. Rook rook e4 is going to be a bit of a problem anyway. G2.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think
And now rook. Oh, I thought he was going to go rook a8 and try and.
No, he's not even trying to give it back. He's just playing because his king is good now.
No, he can do that too.
Yeah, this is perfectly okay for white now. King there, I'm not sure. Interesting. Anyway, I mean, I love opposite bishop endings personally.
What's wrong with king e3, John?
I don't know. I mean, oh no, I was wondering if I should go rook checks and h4. I thought might be a move. I don't know if h4 h3 is a good idea. Maybe. I think I might go h4 h3 because at least it gives me a threat.
It's a good idea if you can do it for free. I would have thought.
Well, but also then rook c2. At the moment, rook c2 does nothing, but after h4, it does many much, doesn't it?
Yes.
So thank you, Perpetual Stalemate, for telling us the scoring system. It's 2 points for a win and 1 point for a draw as a base score, and then extra points for winning streaks.
Do you know how long a winning streak you need to get extra points, or is that not? That's another layer of detail. Sorry.
Maybe Perpetual Stalemate.
Is there also what's it called? The thing where you can increase the stakes.
h4 now, screaming.
Oh dear, he's not.
No, but h4.
Hello, they've drawn. That's a bit strange.
h4 there would have been really strong.
Yeah, I thought black was making progress and might sort of.
No, but h4 was definitely unpleasant.
Well, exactly. That was the way to make progress.
You have rook b4 check and rook e4 check and love, if I may say so. So once you get an h3, then you're starting to think very, very, very clearly about trying to win.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom Gensel. Three is a winning streak.
3.
So, yes.
Oh, thanks,
Tom.
Tom.
In a row is winning, and there's no berserker, so you can't.
There's no berserker. That's the word I was looking for. I'm having a
senior
moment. Sorry,
I think berserker for 24 hours would be. Well, it would probably be slightly a health risk, really, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Because Keith probably would berserk permanently for 24 hours.
Should we see Chris Baker since he's still in second place or so?
Yep, playing a Ukrainian player, and it was great to see so many Ukrainians taking part in this too.
He seems to have some inconvenience, but an extra piece.
He does, doesn't it?
For which you can put up with some inconvenience.
You can. Can you go rook g4 in this position or not, which is what I was trying to do. I thought a king g7 you could, g4 might be a move.
Yeah.
That has a threat, doesn't it? Maybe it's not much of a real threat.
It does.
But it's just been stopped, doesn't it, particularly? If knight h6...
Is there knight h6? That's what I'm wondering. But
I think knight h6 is...
Oh, what happened?
I think knight h6 was winning material, wasn't it?
Well, I thought so, yeah, but...
Because rook h6, bishop takes rook, or otherwise there's a threat of rook g8 making if rook g5.
Well, that was the intention, yeah, but I
if
wasn't...
rook g5, there was a knight f7 check.
Indeed, there was. I couldn't see any way out.
Possibly evil gurgling as well at that moment.
Mind you, coming in on d6 isn't going to be bad either.
Well, but at the moment, is knight h3 a threat? It is, isn't it, actually, of sorts? Whether it's a sufficient threat.
It's also, is rook f3 a threat?
Yeah.
I wondered about rook f3 just trying to change one of the defenders of h3. That could have been a bit tricky.
Well, I mean, unfortunately...
Oh, no, sorry, there's simply a threat. I'm losing the plot.
g4 check. No, it's going to cause a slight...
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be... What?
That's the sort of thing that happens when you play for
24 hours. Yeah. It is horrific, isn't it, really?
It's just...
Okay, so rook f2 and continue the game. I mean, you know, okay, you're a piece down, but so what at this moment? Actually, black's doing fine here, isn't he?
You have a few pawns.
f5, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit...
F5. God, you want your rook to be active. Yeah, okay, finally. Okay, now the knight gets to e3, which is, or maybe...
Well, but he could have played f4 and rook f2 check, actually, yeah?
Oh, he could actually, couldn't he? And if king takes...
That would have been that would have complicated the situation a bit, I think.
Perhaps resolved it in black's favour. This is...
Yes, because now...
He could have gone king g5 there, for the love of God. And man. That rook F2 is fine, of course. Yeah, black's better now.
Black won. Oh wow!
Well done.
I didn't see that coming. What?
One PRK one. Well done.
Okay.
I mean, black one on time, obviously.
Yes.
Still held out, which is half the battle in Blitz.
Well, exactly. Yes, indeed.
No, but also I think it might even be. Is it probably not a winning position, or do you think it is? If you just play rook takes rook and king g5, you're much better, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Oh, there's knight d4. Maybe it's only a draw. Maybe black has to push an h pawn. White leaves the knight on d4 and plays chess, and then black brings his king over and takes on c3, but white's in time.
Yeah. I'm sure there've been plenty of wins on time in far more outrageous positions than this. At least black's better and has chances. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they have.
Okay, let's take another look.
Okay, so maybe we just have a little bit of a pause. Perpetual stalemate is teaching us all about this tournament again. 3 wins in a row is a streak, so you get extra points for 3 or more wins. So thank you, Perpetual Stalemate, Sullen Chris, and Tom Randall for keeping us informed.
Yeah.
Keith Arkell is still in the lead, as he will be till the end of the tournament. And we have now raised over 15,000 in total for the Ukraine.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really great.
But there's still over 20 minutes left, so you can still keep donating. And don't forget, if you donate the most money in this hour, you can win 2 tickets for the Chessboxing Nation event at the end of May. And those tickets are worth £65. So get donating. Excellent. So we can look at the next game. Any requests?
I don't know, just who have we got? So how many games are going on at the moment?
Let's see this one. Another.
We've seen him twice already.
Okay. Well, do you want
to? Okay. It looks like there's not much more
fairly
to
quick.
Well,
let's open while we look through the other games.
He's forked a queen, a mate, and a fork. Should be fairly successful.
Okay, that's a fairly quick game.
Was that one of Mark's horses again? No.
No, that was
somebody else's horses.
Yeah, that was a Ukrainian horsey.
Oh, well, it was certainly the cavalry was certainly in full flight in this one, in full flow.
Oh, who is I am Bazaar Vauxhall? Let's see that one.
Let's see it. Don't know who it is. Chess Forever 64, playing black.
Oh. That's a big centre pawn, but
well, it looks like it might be quite a strong player as black to me. I don't know.
Yes.
That sort of rubbish I might play. In order to cause some trouble, queen takes, yeah. I'm just imagining that probably black is going to splat white on the.
And I think white can't keep the queens on because the bishop hangs, so I assumed he couldn't keep the queens on.
Yeah,
but he has kept the queens on, so.
Well, I think that was probably something of an error.
I think that was something of an error too. Did you?
They are knackered completely, aren't they?
Yeah.
Actually, the queen takes bishop was in fact an improvement. Officially, I think we can officially say that. Anyway, black's going to win this. I mean.
Yeah, although I thought knight e5, there was something to be said for knight e5, although e5 is so thematic. But okay, white's got some pawns.
I mean, actually, white is a perfectly good position at this moment.
Yeah, I think white's got some pawns coming up now. This is going to be actually quite interesting.
But also, bishop b6, now h5 is really annoying.
h5, knight f4.
Because you can play bishop takes knight and win a piece.
Ah, that's a piece. Oh dear. Oh well.
Well, you better play bishop g4, I suppose, and just carry the game on.
Yeah, it's difficult to pull that off as all part of the plan, isn't it?
Well, it obviously wasn't part of the plan, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, better to take back with the bishop than the other one. Okay, well,
yeah.
This position is truly
okay. We can probably assume the rest of this for a moment and move.
Oh, you know.
Or perhaps not.
Oh, black's going to get pawn, isn't he? For his, and has the 2 bishops.
Yeah, he's grabbing a pawn. Okay, that's interesting.
It says that it must be said that white has the 2 bishops as well. All right, so you take and take. There's nothing better to do. And just start playing chess. Bring your king into the centre, and avoid swapping pieces. Take that pawn.
Or indeed counting them.
well. I mean, numeracy is probably something of a disadvantage in this particular position. But you know, if you get your king over to the queen side, it's not going to be that easy, is it? I mean, okay, I suppose that is a problem. I have to go b6, unfortunately, because a6, otherwise the knight's coming in. Okay.
Okay, but white needs to figure out how to. Oh, d4. Okay.
This is. I mean, I could imagine. Well, I'm going to play bishop g6, obviously. You know, in a blitz game, it doesn't look easy to me at all. I mean, I'm sure.
White is well up on the clock, though.
If whites are well up on the clock, then that's.
Oh.
Well, king. Oh, like that.
That's true. The clock situation makes it quite interesting, doesn't it?
Oh, it's a fascinating struggle. He said rather rudely.
Ah.
That was very stupid.
That was not something
that should have been allowed.
Intended to allow, I think.
Well, now once you get knight takes d5 check in, then white is clearly winning. No, it really is winning. And resignation would not be completely unreasonable, especially as he's just going to take all the rest of his pawns.
Yes.
Presumably king f3. I'm looking knight to those good move as well. I was going to swap pieces this here to rudely swap. Just take it, for heaven's sake. Take it and play a4 and then bring your pieces up. Okay, that's all right as well. So there is a
really decent move, Jonathan.
No, but there's a wrong rook pawn. And he's just allowed bishop f4 check, by the way.
Oh, that's not clever. That's not clever.
That's a draw. You should just...
How is this actually? Is this a draw on chess.com?
Who knows? I mean, bishop takes pawn is a draw. Just take the pawn. And I don't know if chess.com makes it a draw. That's a good question. Is he going to try to win on time? I suppose he is, isn't he? It's what everybody does. It is vile. Yeah, right. Now did you ever hear about Gingy's bet in this position?
About what, sorry?
Gingy Hashvili's bet in this position.
Oh, white won.
Even as a win for white.
One on time. Did you hear about Gingy Hashvili's bet? Gingy Hashvili, who obviously was a large person, used to bet people he could queen his pawn.
Could we just see queens and pawns a moment?
Okay.
No, but wait a minute. So Gingy Hashvili used to bet that he could queen his pawn in the wrong rook's pawn position. And people would say, no, you can't. Then he'd play pawn equals queen.
That appears to be a bad moment to join. Sorry, yes. Okay. You can play what? Sorry, pawn equals...
No. With bishop in the wrong rook's pawn, Gingy used to bet people in New York, I think, that he could queen the pawn. Which obviously you can, as long as you don't mind it being taken.
Well, yes.
And so he would take the pawn. I don't know if that's a very good idea. You're going to have to defend your G pawn now, aren't you? I suppose that's good, actually. Black looks like he's competent. Who is?
Okay, this is Duke of Babington as white, who has been streaming their own stream for this fundraiser.
Oh,
so
wow,
it's nice to watch that game. I don't know. And playing Inglaterra as black. I don't know who these players are.
I think in a blitz game, I'd just go rook up and rook takes G2, wouldn't you, Peter?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, because, you know, it wins by about 5 tempi just playing rook G2. Okay. Actually, there's a Volkswagen there almost, isn't there? Yeah,
oh.
I can take it.
Yeah, I would certainly take G2 when you
might want to translate Volkswagen, John. I'm not sure. Not sure everyone is aware of your terminology.
Do you think not everyone's aware of the Volkswagen? Yeah, I think that's possible. Come on, John, explain.
Well, it's just a stupid Englishman trying to say Zugswagen. No.
Okay.
The people's compulsion to move. Has Black got 15 seconds? Yeah, all right. I mean, I don't understand people playing on. You know, if you had 5 seconds, then oh God, is he going to promote? So is he going to get some rooks? Do we think?
There was a stalemate possibility there, wasn't there?
He nearly managed to stalemate. Yes.
Didn't even need the extra queen in the end.
Oh, once you've done that, yeah, that's me. Okay.
Once you've done that, you want to play pawn equals bishop, surely. to have 2 queens and 2 bishops, which actually 2 queens, 2 white squared bishops.
Thomas Rendell against Golubev. Let's have a quick look at that.
I think we have
2 queens and 2 white squared bishops and a king against a king would actually be in a table base, wouldn't it? What do you think about it?
So I like Tom's position here.
Tom is...
He is a pawn down, Camel.
But he has pieces pointing towards black king.
Yeah, but I'm not sure they're pointing... Okay, he's got queen c3 check idea. That is a good point.
I think queen c3 check is the point.
It is rather a big point. Is that just very strong?
I think it might be, yes. I can't see... Oh, I think you have to maybe go bishop c8, queen checks, king back, knight f6 takes, queen takes knight, queen takes queen, bishop takes d7. So reasonable, but perhaps...
Sorry, can you say that slowly for my benefit and everybody else's? So bishop c8, queen c3 check, king g8, knight f6 check.
Just queen takes knight.
Oh, I see. Yes, it is. Okay.
And
yeah, no, it's probably
it's not very good.
Queen takes queen and bishop takes rook at the end.
Yeah, it's not very good because the queen's so good in f6. There's sort of h4 and attempts to mate on the spot. But if you fail to mate on the spot, then black can defend that position. Or try to, anyway. I can't see a better way to play than that, though, actually.
Looks incredibly nasty in any other line I can see. Yep.
So I think he probably does have to actually do that. I mean, I can't...
Really very strong.
It is a filthy dark square attack, isn't it? I don't know if there isn't an e3 move there, is there? Is there the move?
Well, that was the other thing I was looking for, but I think the answer is probably no, isn't it?
I mean, pawn takes pawn, queen e4, then queen h6 and knight, king h8, knight f6 is insufficient due to queen takes pawn checkmate. But that's the only other possibility I can imagine. But I think probably you can go pawn takes pawn, queen e4, knight f6 and win very easily in that one as well. Well, that's completely...
Yeah, exactly.
You have to go queen g2 check then, which is pretty bad. Well, it's a pretty bad version, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's only giving... Oh, I suppose it thinks that the end game with...
Oh, that's very calm. So, actually, it's probably not calm. It's probably a very depressed move. But I don't... What's he trying to... Rook d3 he wants.
No, he's trying to get the same ending where he plays rook takes d7 rather than... I think there was a better move. Oh, this rook takes bishop.
Yeah, rook takes... Well, I thought rook takes bishop was one I thought he meant rook d3 maybe. I couldn't see really what black wanted. Whereas now, he wants, as you say, a better version of what you were talking about before with the...
Yeah.
So you have 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left to play your last games and
check,
get
queen
your...
takes, rook takes d7. This is sort of a better version of what John was talking about. Still,
I mean, you can almost play h3 in this position. That's a pretty stupid move. Rook takes rook g3. And okay, there's queen takes knight. Or there's queen d2 probably is good actually for black.
Yeah, you don't want to allow that.
But you know, if there wasn't queen d2, then you'd be winning the queen.
No, that would be quite
cool. Actually, there'd be queen g5 still probably. I'm not sure. Yeah, queen c3. So
what's white got here other than what's white got other than rook takes b7 now? Oh, I suppose you could take on d8. Yeah.
There's takes
and send the king to f8 and
indeed, and then do something clever.
And I'm not sure what happens, but
nor am I. I mean, I think it's going to be all right.
Well, black doesn't have much time to decide on what to do.
It's possible that. Oh wow, black's got very little time. But that's it for the whole game, yeah?
Yep, no increment.
Just to mate in 4 seconds, that could be. So white's best strategy is probably to...
Let him flag.
Do nothing. Yep, there we go.
Exactly what Tom did. Indeed. So less than 10 minutes left. So less than 10 minutes left to get your final donations in for this event.
Now what happens to games that start before that haven't finished after the 24 hours? Are they counted or not?
I believe that if you've started, it continues, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
So it's mastermind rules rather than because Lee Chess Arenas you don't, do you?
Well, could we see Mark Hebden against Jude Shearsby, Queens and Pawns?
So who is Queens and Pawns, Pete?
This is Jude Shearsby, one of our leading juniors around. And he's doing rather well by the look of it.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Della Corta. They don't count. The games do not count. All games get aborted.
Oh, really? Wow, that's odd.
Informed by our friends in the chat.
So is Black going to go kind of Queen G3 or something here? And
Queen D4 I thought was quite a good idea at this point.
Sorry, what is?
Queen D4 I thought.
Oh, Queen D4 might be rather good too, yeah.
I think Queen D4 wins the house, the garden, and
it does, yes.
Most of the vegetables.
As they don't say, in fact.
They don't. Yeah. I sound like I'm quoting from Spitting Image, actually, don't I? You know the quote.
Black needs to do something calm and sensible now, like King E7 or something.
You know the Spitting Image quote.
Do I? Which one?
It's the Blessed Mrs. Thatcher. They say she's having dinner with her cabinet, and they say. And
that one, yeah, no, of course, yes.
Yes, they'll have the same.
The vegetables, yes, I remember.
I think it's vegetables, isn't it? This time, Mark will probably manage to fight, won't he, somehow? You think, or not?
I'm not sure. I think this is pretty tough with the... Oh, maybe that might be slightly encouraging, I don't know.
It's encouraging, I don't think it's... I mean, you want to go knight d5 now, do you?
I wanted to go knight d5, but it's not that encouraging, no, I can see that. Oops, Queen g1.
I mean, I'd sort of expect Mark to swindle me in a... Well, no, probably not in a Blitz game, but I wouldn't be surprised. It just strikes me.
Yeah, now Queen b6. That looked like something Black might have preferred not to allow.
I think Black would have very much have preferred not to allow the Queen. I mean, Queen d6 you can probably do. You're still probably winning, but I mean, you have every chance to mess it up, I would say. Don't you think? Because you're starting.
Yeah, although actually those positions with a far advanced passed pawn when you have rook against two pieces can be pretty tough to play with. That looks like a very materialistic move indeed, which he will pay for. Now I'm believing that Mark will at least save this game.
But Queen d6, you could go takes e5 actually.
No, that's what I meant by rook against two pieces. But I thought with the h pawn that might be still quite good for Black.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear.
At least in Blitz, if not in reality.
No, I think in reality as well. Just go rook c6.
Yeah, probably in reality too. But
you can take the bishop around, can't you? You're not going to lose as Black anyway.
But I think playing with two pieces against a far advanced pawn in Blitz is really awful. Whereas this attack now looks well.
It's pretty unpleasant in a normal game, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Indeed.
Pretty grim. Now, what's happened?
This is incredibly awkward. Well, I imagine Black's realised how awkward everything is, unfortunately.
Yeah, if h3, do you play bishop h3 or do you go e5? I suppose it just depends whether you're mating or not.
I think you probably can play h3, but for simplicity, you might play bishop takes h3.
Yes, I mean, I think I would probably, but it's not that clear then. Whereas e5, e5, h2, queen takes rook check. Oh, he's just done that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what you do because now e5, he's still got some initiative.
Yeah. You're going to win anyway.
An awful lot safer. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a greedy move, isn't it?
It's a very greedy move, and he may regret it. There's queen c4 check.
Yeah, you can go king a1 and knight b1, but there's
okay, but
that's not what.
And he can't take on e4 because there's a queen a8 check as well. So.
Indeed. So he's now got to go something like g5. Just get on with the game, but a4, I suppose. Anyway, start pushing the g pawn. That's terribly greedy.
Well, queen e2 or something. Yeah, it's like. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you should just push the pawn.
Yeah, no, he's probably right. King h7 and g5 is not. a4. Oh, I guess he didn't see that one.
No, pawn, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Mark on Sunday, didn't I? As usual, it lost a very bad position, and then after that, it was all right. Not clear to me he's winning now. I think he should have taken with the pawn. on A3.
Yes.
Because A pawns are enormous in night endings, aren't they?
Yeah, black's kind of nicely centralised now.
Well, he should have played King D4 just then, rather than, unless he's trying to win, of course, as black. Doing this. Child.
Oops. It looks like I'm safely say after King D4 here that he's not trying to win, but Knight D6.
Okay.
Oh no! That's a nice trick.
Yeah. No.
Mind you, it looks to me like that king's not quite in the square. How very unfortunate. Oh dear. Well.
5 seconds to make.
Oh no, that's tough. Come on, Jude. You must have. He's trying to play very close moves, but he needs to make some progress.
Needs to play fast.
Oh, he did it.
With 0.7 of a second left. Well done, Queen.
Wow, what a game to finish off. Amazing. So that was Jude Shearsby winning against Mark Hebden. Nice result for the junior player there. Didn't look like it all the way, but well done to him.
And that
I was never in doubt, Natasha.
Never in doubt, sorry.
And that hasn't affected second place, is it?
So how's it all looking at the end? So Keith...
So Keith
has got a 728.
He's got 728 out of
That's pretty astonishing. That's sort of
248 games played.
Wow.
Congratulations, Keith.
That is fantastic.
You're at 1728, isn't it? Which is the sum of 2 cubes in 2 ways. But, is that right?
John.
Is it 1728? 17 something, isn't it? What is the cube? Oh, sorry.
But in second place is Chris Baker with 397. But I don't think he can. Yeah, he's quite clearly in second place. There's only 2 minutes left, less than 2 minutes left, and Mark Hebden clearly in third.
So that little turnaround didn't cost Mark third anyway. He was, going to be second anyway. It seems.
No.
And
wow. And how many games played between these three? There's
so Keith Alkell 248. Chris Baker 205 and Mark Hebden 140. So John, how much? What's the total?
Can you add that?
Oh God, who knows? Sorry, I was thinking I'm getting something completely wrong, but I can't remember what it is.
I've written it down. 593 games.
593 games played in total.
No, that's just by those three. If you add them up, and you don't bother about trying to subtract where they both played each other, which
well, that's
would just be too fiddly.
It would be extremely fiddly. So they've played. Oh Jesus! I mean, so how many bots have actually played in this?
There's 440 players.
Fantastic! That's fantastic.
Yeah, really nice.
And presumably there'll be a complete download in moments if people want.
Yeah, you can play through all the games at your leisure.
Awesome. But thanks to everyone who played.
Yeah, big thank you to all the competitors, and thank you. Also, well, thank you, first of all, Camwell, Peter and John for commentating, but thanks to all the commentators throughout the weekend. Lots of fabulous commentators there. Thank you, of course, to the organisers. So Nigel and Danny and lots of other people that were involved in the organisation, and to the British Red Cross who helped us organise it as well. Thanks to all the Ukrainian players and to Alexander for coming on the stream. And also for Mikhailov for coming on the stream this morning. Thanks to the donators for the prizes. So Chessable, chess.com, Elk and Ruby, Forward Chess and Chess Boxing. And there were many other people that donated prizes. Thanks to everybody that made donations. Thanks to the arbiters. Thanks to everybody that was a fundraiser as well and did their own streaming. And thanks to all the players, and I've probably missed a whole load of stuff.
Well, I think you missed thanking yourself, Natasha.
You missed Natasha, yeah.
Nice to Matthew Sadler as well, who have been behind the scenes working on this and making sure it all runs smoothly from 24 hours ago, basically. So
yeah,
thank you very much, Natasha. Really well done.
Yeah.
So and we've raised, what have we raised? Over £15,000 for Ukraine. So that's going to be very helpful.
It's a great effort.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Okay, thanks all. We're going to end the stream now. So thank you everybody in the chat, and thanks very much for watching.
Thanks.
Have a good rest, everyone.
Yes, sleep well, Keith. Congratulations, Keith, and sleep well.
Yeah, God almighty, yes.